Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brew-Built X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brew-Built Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brew-Built line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brew-Built X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brew-Built Conicals. You can trust Brew-Built with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brew-Built at morebeer.com.
Today's Sunday session is brought to you thanks to the fine folks at More Beer. Visit them right now at morebeer.com.
I poured it in my mouth and it just wasn't going down.
My first beer was an IPA, the best IPA I've ever drank, mostly because I brewed it.
If you have a scale that is good for measuring cocaine, you're probably good for measuring hops on cocaine.
You're scaring me.
I think the information is awesome and the audio sucks.
Make some sugary water, throw some yeast in there.
And you're going to drink good beer.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's fine.
God damn it, man. Oh, my God.
Oh, uh-oh.
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
All right. Hey, welcome to the program. There is a Pokemon battle going on at the Hop Grenade right now.
And I'm not involved in it.
Which is amazing.
Thought you would have started it.
Like ground zero here.
No,
It
I outgrew
is.
that.
There's like a whole... The Hop Grenade apparently is triangulated between 3 locations.
Yeah.
Whatever those are.
There are two the water fountains.
The water
and
fountain, the clock tower, and the EJ Fair sign.
Oh.
But the patio of the Hop Grenade is the only place you can sit where you can access all 3 of the things. So as much as I want to bash this Pokemon situation, we have seen a significant boost in sales since it launched last week.
Really?
Yeah, especially I bet in the early evening.
Yeah.
People get off work, they come right over.
It's been really...
It's busy right now.
It's been really strange. One of my managers is like the mayor of Pokemon around here or something. I don't know how that works, but he
He gave you the statistics and so he knows what's going on.
He does, but he's like the leader. Like he beat everybody in the gym. I think they're called gyms.
Yeah.
Is that where you fight?
That's where you fight. Yeah, you fight other Pokemon.
Yeah. My nephew's been teaching me about the Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what it means?
Yes.
Tell
like
me.
Pocket Monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, originally it was called Pocket Monster.
Pocket
back
Monster.
in the day.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to Pokemon.
Pokemon. I've seen your manager. He should go to a real gym instead of a virtual one.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I know.
Getting fat.
He's the mayor.
Yeah, you know me. I want to hate this Pokemon thing, but I'll take a boost in sales any day of the week.
Sure.
For a business thing, I think it's great if you can track people. Yeah.
But now I got to look at all these idiots like sitting around my picnic table.
Yeah. On your phone all the time.
At least now they talk to each other. Like they're on their phones,
they're
talking to each other.
They're talking local anyway.
Yeah. So that's something.
That's cool. You did something. That's the thing.
That's a scary table over there.
I know. That is a table of people that before a week ago never left their home.
No.
And
maybe you get them a discount, like $1 off if you show you just what you captured something.
Don't you start, Tasty. People, give me that thing. Give me that piece of paper right there on the clipboard. So this group is organized. They're asking already. These people.
Oh, God.
These people.
That's the kind of group I want to form. So I know what you mean.
All right. Attention, downtown Concord business owners.
Attention.
This is a letter, very formal.
Yes. Nobody read it.
Yeah.
If you're not a business owner, don't fucking read it.
So is a name given at the end? It sounds like it's,
it's all there. On Saturday, July 23rd, beginning at 8 p.m., we'll be hosting a Pokemon Go gathering for the downtown Concord area. The group will be starting in Todos Santos, that's the plaza that we're in, and making our way through the downtown area. Current estimations show...
Of course they do.
That nearly 600 people have expressed interest in this event.
Wait, they're estimating that there's a lot of people who've shown interest. It sounds like
they're estimating interest.
Yeah, right.
Well, so you know how I'm guessing that there's a Facebook event, and you can just press the interested button instead of like I'm attending, and maybe they've had that many people do it. By the looks of this park, when I left here last Monday at like 11 p.m., you know everything's closed around here at that time. That's when we do last call. There were mobs of people out there.
Like, what's a mob?
30 people?
Okay. That's
just
a lot in the park. Not doing drugs, not selling drugs, not skating.
And they're coming and going, too. It's not the same 30 all night. They come and they do their thing, and then they leave.
Right. So they wanted, in an effort to take advantage of this unique situation and create a mutually beneficial situation for Pokemon Go players and business owners, we'd like to pitch the idea, consider offering small discounts, rewards, or perks to Pokemon Go players. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go that far.
No, of course not. After 600, that's all free. You'll be turning them away. Why bring them in?
Yeah, well, plus we're already the only place they can come and do all the things. So I have this unique
you don't need to.
advantage.
I get that.
And I don't want to open a can of worms with this thing. While it's a boost now, if the place... in a month from now becomes completely overrun by Pokemon players, then our regular customers.
Right.
So I need to find a nice balance in between. Like, you're welcome to come here, but I don't need to give you a discount for that.
No, you don't.
Just buy a beer and shut up.
Yeah, it was just good to delete all those pictures of the clock.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
God bless them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The jury's still out on this one. It could be a short
too many of them.
But,
they don't need a discount.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they've been sitting at my picnic table out there since I got here 3 hours ago or something.
Yeah, how many of them are not drinking beer?
Good question. I do see some beers on the good point. Actually, I see 2 beers and 8 people.
Might be the same 2 beers.
I know. That's the problem. Apparently, this same group, because this group it starts at like 6 p.m. and goes to like 1 a.m., we close at 11 on weekdays. Yeah. They came and asked our manager, who's the Pokemon guy, if we would consider staying open until 1 for them.
Anything for you guys. Whatever you guys want. I'll stay here. Doesn't matter.
Pokemon forever.
Yeah, let's do it. We got to unite. We got to Team Valor forever.
Yeah, I was like, no, absolutely not.
Are you Team Mystic? Because if you're Team Mystic, you can go fuck right off.
What are the teams? Is that one of the teams?
Valor, Mystic. Those are the only 2 that I know. There's 4.
It sounds like a Hunger Games thing.
It's very strange. It's very strange. And apparently
I wish they fought to the death. That'd be so much better.
Apparently there's like signs now, like essentially gang signs. So when you're all out catching monsters, you can let everybody know what team that you're on. Or not.
Just by throwing the sign?
Yeah. Please don't do that, people.
Where's Eric? I want to see his sign.
Sam was telling me that there are reports of people. So you can buy a lure, right?
Okay, yeah.
So you buy a lure, and then somebody comes and they play with you.
Yeah.
There are people getting robbed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ard.
Oh my God. Ard.
Yeah, people getting stabbed.
Really?
Stabbed.
Yeah.
2 guys fell off of a cliff.
What?
Because
they're not like watching where they're going.
They're not watching where they're going. People have found dead bodies. No, it's like made actual news.
Okay.
People have found dead bodies.
Wow.
Some chick in Michigan,
I
think, found one, and then someone, I think, in L.A.
somewhere.
found another one, yeah.
Don't play Pokemon near the Hudson River. Everybody knows that.
They get extra points?
No, I don't think the Pokemon killed the person, but I think that while out scouting Pokemons, they found the body.
I see.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the first report of someone getting robbed for their iPhone happened within like 2 hours of the game actually being released.
Okay.
Someone just walking through where they're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Got stabbed and jacked for their phone.
Wow. Oh, my God.
You're not ready for it. You're looking at the phone.
People aren't paying attention. They're like...
They get the first move every time, those guys.
Really? High Street in Oakland? Sure, I'll go there.
Yeah, 98th Ave. Let's do it.
98th Ave, people are like, oh, there's a
golf
lure.
links.
Looks normal on the screen.
But the locals are going like, great.
Wow.
Pokemon gone.
That's JP's team.
Pokemon, I'm out of here.
All right. Well, hey, good luck to you all out there. And I don't know. Godspeed.
It's something.
Hey, thanks to our show sponsor, More Beer. You can go to morebeer.com right now and check them out, and you should do your ordering from More Beer. They're great people. They support this program. They have been since the beginning, and we love them for it. They got locations in 2 different places in the U.S., shipping locations anyway. They have several retail locations, but 2 different shipping locations. You get everything fast, and they're our favorite people in the homebrew world. Love those guys over at More Beer. Tonight's show, we've got Beau Schiner from Austmann Brewing out of Trondhjem, Norway. And that's exciting. An international month.
Yeah,
we had our first South African brewer on last week.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was a lot of fun to talk to and kind of convinced me to put South Africa on my travel list.
He sent me an email after the show, and he's like, I think Justin and Doc were more interested in our strip clubs than the beer that we make. But
True, yeah.
I was like, that sounds like you had a good time.
Yeah, but that's every interview we do.
For sure.
No offense,
right.
Mark.
Yeah.
But he said there's a strip club right down the road from the brewery, so he started it.
He did.
Yeah.
He would, though.
Yeah.
We finished.
But, I love traveling, but, South Africa was never really on my list. But, you know what, talking to him, I put it on the list.
24-hour flight or something like that. It's huge. It's a long flight.
It's a long way. It's a big continent over there. I don't know if you've seen it.
Heard about it. Never seen it.
Yeah.
You could probably do that flight without eating, huh?
I could. Actually, probably couldn't.
Yeah, so JP missed the show last week, a little procedure.
Yeah, I had my first colonoscopy.
How's the beehole doing?
It's fine.
Yeah?
It was totally easy, man.
It was?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something to be proud of or worried about.
They put you under. You don't even.
Yeah, but what about after? Is there any soreness? Is there any discomfort?
Honestly,
they lube you up
you
really
didn't
well.
even know anything had happened.
I didn't know anything had happened. It was honestly the worst part was not eating.
Oh, before?
Because you can't eat like the day before the procedure. You can't eat solid foods. You have to eat green or yellow Jello. Water, tea with no milk, and like you can drink soda, like fucking 7-Up. Yeah. I never drink soda, but we got little cans of soda. Anyway, I'm like eating green Jello like it's going out of style because I'm trying to like get something and like almost choking on it. I'm like trying to shovel it down in large chunks.
Yuck.
And I'm so hungry by like 3:00 on Monday that I'm ready to punch a hole in the wall. I got hangry.
I talked to him. He was so mad on the phone.
I was so mad.
So angry.
Oh, that was the worst part. And then you go to bed hungry, and then you wake up on Tuesday morning, and then you realize that your fucking deal's not till 1:00.
Oh,
so
you sit there at the hospital?
No. I sit at home pacing.
Oh,
till like 10:30, 11 till Taryn comes to take me to the hospital. I'm like starving. I can't even deal with my life. I was so hungry. That was the worst part.
So
all the shitting was fine. It doesn't matter.
So you can't really do anything. So you don't have a lot of energy. You're just kind of. How many times did you rub it out between the time you stopped eating and
0? I was so uninterested in doing anything.
Like no, I didn't want this.
I can't even do it.
All I could focus on was the pain in his stomach, and then he didn't feel well either. That wasn't just the hunger. It was like your whole system was screwed up, right?
Yeah, it was weird. It was just a weird thing. I played video games a lot, and Taryn's like, I give you free reign just to not do anything, and I'm like, I don't do anything anyway, so it's fine.
Is that a thing now that you guys are married? She has to, or you just, or you just tell her you're really busy?
Well, no, I mean, a lot of times I'll ask for stuff to do around the house because I want to help out, because she makes all the money. And it makes her feel good. It makes me feel good.
Okay.
And then I don't do it. Anyway, she's like, you can just hang out because, you won't have a lot of energy. I'm like, okay, great. Sounds good.
You don't have to do all the things you said you were going to do for the last year.
Right.
Just
hang
out
you don't have to
today.
do it. It's fine.
It's like a guilt-free day.
You have one guilt-free day. Yeah. Well, that's nice of her.
Yeah. The procedure was fine. I don't know, man. I got real anxious.
Yeah.
And my anxiety kicked in pretty hard.
Okay.
But I worked through that, and then they wheel you into the room, and everyone's like just kind of hanging out, and you're on like the heart monitor with like the 2 stickers here and like one on the side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they're like, okay, roll over on your side and bring your knees up to your chest. I'm like, oh shit.
Wait, why should you be asleep by now?
Not yet.
No, they.
I don't even want to get into the position.
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
I had to do that once just for the finger.
Yeah, the finger's terrible.
You got an IV then, right?
This is the I had the IV then, right. And then the lady looks at the heart monitor and she goes, "Oh, You've died. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? She goes, oh, like one of your stickers came undone. Let me see. So I'm like facing her.
She does not know who she's talking to.
No. And then I'm like,
you don't want to hear that when you're coming out of the anesthesia.
Right. And so I'm like,
okay.
Okay.
First.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I think it's this one like underneath me. Like when I rolled on my side, I think it pulled it out. And she goes, okay, oh yeah, here it is. Let me reattach it. And she like pulls up my gown and she like takes a gander at my little penis.
Yeah.
Because I'm like sitting there and it's cold in the room.
Just having a look.
And I'm like, oh God, it looks like the blackness of space with all the pubes, everything just like retracted. And I'm like, she was hot. And I'm like, oh, this lady's looking at my little peener. I felt so bad for her.
Yeah. If she was that hot, just think how we would have felt if it would have gone the other direction.
That's true. Well, and then I was nervous. So then she gives you like the 2 injections in the IV, and then next thing I know, literally Taryn's standing over my bed, and they're like ready to. I'm like already dressed. Yeah. I don't know how they dress. I don't know if I dressed myself. I'm assuming I did. I don't remember it. I'm like firing off emails in the car and like nodding off. Like I was fucked up for like 24 hours afterwards.
Yeah.
But I was concerned like coming out of it that I would be.
The nurse thought you were a eunuch.
Yeah, well, that too. No, you're like bald guy on Game of Thrones. That's cool. No, and I
love your show.
Yeah, you're so good, Ferris. You're amazing. No, but like that, I would like say some weird shit because my last surgery. I came out saying weird shit, but apparently, it's a sedative, not a general anesthesia, so it's different. But I was still like, I don't know, still nervous. I'd be talking about the hot nurse who looked at my wiener.
Yeah. Did you see my wiener?
Yeah. Amazing, isn't it?
Hey,
She
you
didn't
gotta
look
look
at
it at a different time.
She didn't want to see it.
When it's cold on the table.
The fact that it's missing, that would,
I'm a shower, not a grubber. Oh, wait, other way around.
Other way.
Yeah. Anyway, but everything, I think is fine.
All right.
But no soreness. It was fine.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, it's good to have you back. Beardy also missed last week and is missing this week. I don't like shows without Beardy.
He's fired.
Who am I going to yell at?
Beardy?
I don't know.
Yeah. JP.
Yell at Doc.
Right.
No.
Yell at Doc. Oh, well. So no Beardy this week. He says he's just working to get that brewery open.
Oh, that's right. I see him posting that.
Yeah. He says he thinks it'll be the last week he has to miss because they must be getting close to just being up and running. So
I think he's got to fill the fermenters is what he's doing.
Probably. I hope so. All right, so let's get to it. A few announcements. The Hop Grenade's second anniversary is Sunday, August 7th. Hope to see you local BN Army people out here. We have a pretty amazing beer list going on for that. And that's the event. It's just great beer. We save some of it throughout the year, and then we also get some of it from our brewery friends, fresh and ready to go. Of course, we'll have some things from the Rare Barrel, I think Cellar Maker, and the one I'm most excited about is from Faction Brewing Company, Roger Davis's brewery, because they brewed our second anniversary beer. And
what's it awesome. It's a Hop Grenade Pale Ale or something?
Hop Grenade Pale Ale.
Excellent.
It's a pretty hoppy pale ale with all New Zealand hops.
Okay.
New Zealand. Roger's excited to use them. They've never even used them.
When a collab, that's kind of what you want to do. Just some one-offs.
Yeah, he couldn't even pronounce them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking thing.
It's a little. It's almost an IPA, really. It's a 6.
Weird.
It's a 6% pale ale.
That's an IPA.
Hoppy. So
That's
it's kind of an IPA.
It is an IPA. Pale ale is 5.5 and lower.
I'm not going to argue with the guy.
Yeah.
He's calling it Hop Grenade Pale Ale, and
of course he is.
we'll see what happens. But I'm excited about it. It smelled wonderful. I went down there for the brew day, and so did a couple people here from the Hop Grenade. So excited about that one. So come out for it's the first beer anybody's brewed for the Hop Grenade. So that's kind of exciting. I think.
Yeah, I think so for the Hop Grenade.
For this place. Not for the Brewing Network. For
Sounds right.
So, all right. So we're doing that. And then while we're on the faction subject.
They've got a festival on Saturday. Ales for ALS.
It's this Saturday, the 23rd?
This Saturday at 1 o'clock, 1 to 5.
Good event.
It's a really great event. There'll be breweries there from, obviously, Northern California, but quite a few from Southern California.
Yeah.
The reason being is that they every year they make this blend of Hop Union and Loftus Ranches make this blend of hops, and breweries can sign up to use those hops to make an ALS beer.
Okay.
For which they donate most, if not all, the proceeds.
Okay. That's a great.
It'll be done. It'll be like our locally Rare Barrel and of course Faction and
Russian
field
River
work and
was
all.
there
Russian River's
last
always
year.
there.
Field work, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just a great piece of real estate too. If you've
Yeah,
never
it's a
been
great
down
time
to
out there.
Faction, it's just got a great view of San Francisco from Alameda Island, and
Yeah, they have great events there.
all right, so you can go to factionbrewing.com and check it out and get more information on that. You can do your Amazon shopping to support the BN. I don't know if you knew that, but you click on the Amazon link right on our homepage. Both our UK listeners and our US listeners can do it. A lot of you do that already. It's just a great way to support us without spending any extra cash. Just do your normal Amazon shopping. So thanks to all of you for doing that. You can also support us by subscribing to join the BN Army. You can do a monthly donation, and you're entered into the More Beer monthly donation giveaway, which is a gift certificate for $100 that we draw every single month. And dreams do come true.
They sure do.
You can win that $100.
Well, you can't, but other people can.
But other people can, yeah. For those of you who have already signed up, thank you so much. Make sure your address is current in your PayPal account so that we can notify you when you win. We've had that happen before. We notify people. They never answer. We got to draw another name. So subscribe and join the Army. It's a great way to help us. Get updates on the Brewing Network over on Twitter and Pokemon Book.
Pokemon, that's right.
That's what it is now, right?
It pretty much, yeah. Everyone's post is all about, I got it, Pokemon. God.
Yeah.
No one cares.
My nephew was away at camp for the week.
Oh, that's right.
And I picked him up on Friday. So it launched on Monday or whatever, right? Or Sunday. And he had been sequestered from the hubbub.
Yeah.
Which I was really excited about because it meant when he came back, when I picked him up, I wasn't going to have to be bothered with this bullshit.
Right.
My fucking brother sent him an email while he was at camp.
Keeping him up to date.
Oh, yeah, saying, I can't wait. This Pokemon thing, when you get home, we're going to play it. It's out now. Everyone's talking about it. This whole fucking thing.
Oh,
so then it's Uncle Justin, we got to play it.
Yeah, I see him for 8 seconds. I'm like, hey, little Jay, how was camp? How was your week? Pokemon. He's like a little monster.
Yeah. He's a pocket monster.
But you know what? I'm a dickhead of an uncle. I refused to put it on my phone.
You should.
I did. I put it on my iPad for him. It's like an older one anyway, but it didn't work.
Of course not.
Poor kid. I made an account for him and everything, and the thing just keeps crashing. And I'm like, well, sir, he's like, can't we put it on your phone, Uncle Justin? No, we can't. Why? It's a work phone. I have work to do. I'm a very busy man, little Jay. I'm very.
Yeah.
People are calling me every 8 seconds.
I got a lot of texts to not reply to. It's fine. I gotta not do this.
Yeah. So look, no.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably good. I think it's weird. I mean, kids these days have their noses buried in electronic devices anyways. Pokemon now is just more of now it's going to cost you as a parent,
right?
Or now as an uncle, more data and more time to charge your stupid phone.
True, but that's another thing. So, all right. I guess usually I might complain about the whole kids these days and the digital all the time thing.
Yeah.
But it is a nice reprieve from having to do anything with them. So in previous years, little Jay got sent out here with his iPad and his little phone and apparently this year my brother decided he should come without all of his electronic devices.
And now the largest thing in electronic gaming in 5 years has dropped and he can't be a part of it.
And he's here for weeks, and so we just sit in the dining room staring at each other now.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with this
No
kid.
music, no eating, just
nothing.
All right, dinner's over.
Yeah, and he's I'm like, do you want some ice cream or I don't know what to do with you.
I want Pokemon flavored ice cream.
Fine. I don't know. Fine. Whatever you want. Just stop looking at me and talking to me.
At least blink. Just blink. Do me a favor.
No, I do like being around the kid, but I don't know what to do with him anymore. Like last year was better. Anything I suggest, he's like, oh, that sounds great. This year, nothing. I don't know. You want to go to the water? I'm like, good things. Water slide park. Oh, no.
How about Pixieland? The little mini Disneyland.
Yeah, he's 10, though.
He's preteen. He's just in between on that.
I took him to the zoo. We saw monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
And,
you enjoyed that. He didn't as much.
He hated it.
He hated the zoo.
Yeah, he didn't hate it, but I was like, what did you think? He was like, it was all right.
Take him to fucking Great America.
Nah, I couldn't be bothered with that. That's a whole thing.
No.
That one's with the crowds.
With the crowds these days. It's not Disneyland, bro.
It is. It's summertime.
Nah, you'll be all right.
Nah, maybe.
During the day, you'll be fine.
Maybe. We'll see. He's hard to occupy now, though. And
he's still in between, He's
do what my
not quite old
parents
enough
did.
to go get him laid.
My parents would just say, go outside and play.
I could do that, but there's no kids around. That's why I feel bad.
My parents didn't look out there to see if there's any kids either.
Right. Or kidnappers or...
Nah.
That's what I mean. Like, when he was 9... He was cool to hang out with me.
Yeah.
Now that he's 10, he wants to hang out with 10-year-olds. There's no 10-year-olds around. I can't help it.
No. So you just staring is fine then.
Is there Tinder for 10-year-olds?
Oh, he got him a book
called Kinder.
Kinder.
Yeah.
He can swipe right or left who he wants to play with.
I'll give him my phone for that. Here, go on Kinder. It has different meaning in Germany.
It does.
It's a different app entirely. I don't know.
What are you going to do, man? Well, that's tough.
I got him a book. He read it in a day.
What book was it? C. Jane Reed?
It was like these Bones books. It's like a comic book. It's like a modern day comic. Like it's a comic strip.
Okay.
Like Calvin and Hobbes. Remember those books? It's like that.
I have them.
He read it in like an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
So he says,
give him like some Tolstoy. Give him something to like really chew on.
I gave him War and Peace.
Yeah.
He's like, Uncle Justin, I don't know.
When do you give him back?
He's like, I can't tell. Is it the best of times or is it the worst of times? I don't know. He's like, I'm really confused.
This is going to be the worst trip he's ever been on.
I know.
With the gender
or maybe he won't be coming back
pronoun,
then.
Next year you go, I'm not sure I want to go this year.
being denied Pokemon. There's no kids to play with. He doesn't know his gender.
He doesn't know his gender?
Oh, it's the whole thing last week.
Oh, yeah.
The camp asked him what his preferred gender pronoun is.
Are you...
I'm serious. During, I was sitting right there.
For the first part of it,
we'll
the
talk
intro.
about it off the air. It was on last week's show. But basically, I was like, what? The kid is so confused right now. He just looked at them. Finally, he looked over me terrified. I was like, he will be fine. You can call him he. It'll be okay. I know.
Why wouldn't they ask you?
I agree. That's what I said
the Guardian.
That's what we were discussing last week.
I'm
Ask the
fine
parents.
with the conversation. I'm fine with this being a question, but send it to the parents ahead of time in a questionnaire. What is your child's preferred pronoun?
Right.
I don't know.
Kid can't even say the word pronoun, much less know what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was a thing. It is going to be his worst trip ever. He's never coming back to visit me again.
No.
Today I just gave him a pack of cigarettes and I left. I had to come to work.
And penthouse forum. Fucking pamphlet, because that's like a Reader's Digest size, like the Penthouse forum. The old letters.
Yeah, like with all of them together. Yeah.
Here, learn a thing or two, kid.
Well, he got tired of me flicking cigarette butts at him all day, so I threw him a pack and I said, "Look, I gotta go.
Yeah. Pack these for me and smoke too.
Miss Kate will be home in a few hours. Try not to burn the place down."
Right.
He probably had fun then. All right. Do we have a Twitter game today?
Yes, we do.
Twitter game is brought to you by our good friends over at HopTech Homebrew Supply. Go check them out at hoptech.com. They're good people doing good things for you. What's our Twitter game?
Well, I like Disneyland a lot, maybe too much. And I also kind of like marketing. I like seeing how people market their products and kind of just learning about that. And I think it's a lot of fun. So I thought it would be great if we finally combined the two.
Yeah.
Things
Disneyland and marketing,
Disneyland and marketing, and the Brewing Network. So it's a three-pronged approach.
I love.
And so I hope you don't mind, but I signed us up to be a sponsor of Disneyland.
Oh.
Yeah, and so there's like the Coca-Cola pavilion of the things or whatever, right? Lenovia sponsored a thing, and they're really big on giant corporate sponsors, and that's what we are. We're a giant corporation.
Yes.
So I wanted to put it out there. What ride should we take over?
What ride? Okay.
And what should we call it? What should it be?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can rename it.
We can rename it. We can do whatever we want. We're going to own whatever ride that the BN Army decides that we should finally take over. Away from Disneyland, and tell us what it's going to be.
Existing rides.
Man, you struck a deal.
So we could replace the teacups with pint glasses.
Sure, we can do whatever we want.
Right,
yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
yeah.
Good idea already.
Yeah.
All right, send that into our Twitter handle, and you can play the Twitter game.
Yes.
For a prize. People win this thing,
People do. I don't know what the prize is.
It's usually like a shirt or something, right, Bebo? We have like I have like a box of prizes over here. I think that was maybe supposed to go to somebody.
They're leftovers. I know what they are.
All right. We have tin tackers now.
Oh, really?
I saw those. They're only $15. That's a good deal.
Are they in the store?
Yeah. That's
All
where
right.
I saw it.
We're doing things right. We've got some new shirts in the store, too. A brand new hop grenade. We have a brand new hop grenade shirt. You should go check it out.
I saw that. You wore it last week, I think.
Yeah, our local friend Nick, who does the artwork for Cellar Maker and Faction,
he did that? Oh.
Nick Fulmer did it, and he did a great job. That's in the store. Tin Tacker, some other things. Go to the store right now. Check it out. Flat-brimmed hats, if you're into that sort of thing. We've got those.
Oh, gangsta style.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Bro hats, right.
Are we going to start selling lift kits for our trucks, too?
Already on it. The hop grenade lift kit. You missed everything last week.
We have branded truck nuts.
Only Bevo would think of the truck nuts. He is real white trash. Hey, speaking of nuts, don't forget about our friends over at Adam and Eve. You can go to adamandeve.com and
best segues we've ever.
For a time, you'll get 50% off.
For an unknown amount of time.
No, 50% off just about any one item. And then when you select your one item at 50% off, you're also going to get 3 free adult DVDs, a free exclusive gift, and to top it all off, free shipping on your entire order. Are you ready for the exclusive gift?
Ready for it.
It's the Clit Bumper.
But
Yep, the ideal pressure ring for couples. He'll love the way the ring lets him stay harder longer. It increases the strength of orgasm. She'll love the way the pleasure nubs thrill her sweet spots.
Yes.
What does a pleasure nub look like?
I don't know, but that also implies that there are sour spots, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unique bumper stimulates her clitoris, and then it's soft and stretchy for a comfortable fit, made of premium silicone. Not that cheap stuff.
None of that cheap bullshit. None of that shit from China that's going to get you high.
No, it's waterproof, compatible with water-based lubes.
That's good to know.
Right.
Good to have one dissolve.
It's probably dishwasher proof.
You're like, I swear it was there 30 seconds ago.
I told you to bump it. What are you doing?
It's not bumping.
Stop bumping me.
My clit feels the same.
Yeah.
Nothing's bumping it. Where's the pleasure nubs?
Yeah. Those aren't nubs. Those are warts.
This isn't working.
Go to adamandeve.com. Use coupon code BNARMY at checkout. That's BNARMY at adamandeve.com. You don't have to go to that creepy store down the road and listen to people like us heckle you. You can do it all online from the comfort of your home. All right. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, our guest, Beau Schiner from Austmann Brewing Company out of Trondhjem, Norway. Hang in there. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch
Do
out!
you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring
Monk's Blood.
Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Brewing great beer is a process of continuous learning, and the best books on every aspect of brewing can be found at Brewers Publications, with more than 50 awesome titles like Modern Homebrew Recipes by Gordon Strong, Designing Great Beers, the Ultimate Guide to Brewing Classic Beer Styles by Ray Daniels, American Sour Beers, Innovative Techniques for Mixed Fermentations by Michael Tonsmeyer, For the Love of Hops, The Practical Guide to Aroma, Bitterness, and the Culture of Hops by Stan Hieronymus, and Radical Brewing, Recipes, Tales, and World-Altering Meditations in a Glass by Randy Mosher, plus many, many more. These are the books and the authors with the knowledge to push your brewing farther than you thought possible. And you'll find them all at fine homebrew and book retailers everywhere. And visit the website at brewerspublications.com. Brewers Publications, all the best on beer and brewing.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Marin Brewing Company in Northern California has been making award-winning beers for more than 25 freaking years. Today, I want to tell you about their new 12-ounce cans of Mount Tam Pale Ale. The good stuff. Mount Tam is bright gold, 5.5% ABV to keep you feeling good, and has been winning awards since 1989. If you're visiting the Bay Area, get your butt out to Marin Brewing Company. They pour tasty beers and serve great food every day until midnight. Come in for a tour, stay for the food, and pick up a 6-pack of cans of Mount Tam Pale Ale to enjoy at home, camping, biking, or whatever the hell you do. Owner Brendan Moylan has this to say about Marin Brewing beers.
It's freaking awesome.
Marin Brewing has won more than 100 gold medals in international competitions. Check out marinbrewing.com for all their award-winning beers, food, and merch. Marin Brewing Company in Larkspur, California. Award-winning taste, refreshing finish. It's freaking awesome.
Brewcasters are back. 888-401 beer.
Whatever.
Welcome back to the program. Thanks for hanging out with us. We got a lot to do today. Before we get to our guest, Beau Schiner from Austmann Brewing Company. They're out of Trondhiem, Norway. I wanted to remind you about Great Fermentations. Yeah, one of our wonderful sponsors keeping us alive here at the Brewing Network. They have the largest catalog of Blickman products on the web, provide same-day shipping on some of the main items where, a lot of other vendors can take up to 3 weeks. And their staff is some of the best trained in using Blickman products. Top-notch customer service over there. You can go like them on Facebook at GR8 Fermentation, Great Fermentation, and that way you'll get notified of more deals and all sorts of stuff that happens over at Great Fermentations. They can also be found on Instagram at GR8 Fermentation. GreatFermentations.com. Go check them out. Support them for supporting us. All right. As promised, we should have Beau Schiner on the program with us. Beau, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Hey, buddy. Thanks for being on the program.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me.
Now, Beau, your brewery is out of Norway, but I hear you're in the U.S. right now.
Yeah, I'm actually in the sprawling metropolis of Rochester, Minnesota, I think.
Oh. Bustling. Love that place. I mean, I vacation there
Something
all
like
the
that.
time. What are you doing? Just traveling across the country?
Yeah, man. So I'm from the U.S., but my wife is Norwegian, and living over there, we get 5 weeks of vacation a year. So I come back for a month and kind of do a road trip visiting families / breweries.
How did you meet your Norwegian wife?
Dude, they actually have an underabundance of short, fat, bald guys in Norway. So I'm a bit exotic there. She imported me.
You're like a chick magnet.
Wow.
like a mail order husband.
Okay. I like.
No, man. I was actually. It's a long story, but I was working on a cattle station in Australia, and these two beautiful Norwegian women showed up, and I figured if I ever had a chance, that was it.
Wait, stop it
And,
right here. You're reciting some porn movie that you watched as a child. This is not. So I was working on a cattle station.
The same one.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir. Can you guide your cattle into my pen? Yes, I can.
This is not a real story.
Yeah, it's all true, man. Actually, you're right. I read that on the internet somewhere, and it sounded good.
No. So two Norwegian women show up. What are they? Like sisters? What happens?
No, just best friends, and yeah. So a huge cattle ranch. Like it was like I don't know, probably 100 square miles, and there were 7 dudes that worked there, but I was the only one who had a full set of teeth. And I figured that was my end.
This is my chance.
Yeah, man. So now I'm traveling across country with 2 screaming kids in the back, a 3-year-old who only speaks Norwegian.
Wow.
It sounds like, yeah, dude, it sounds like a version of the Swedish Chef, just swallowing a bunch of helium, just screaming all kinds of nonsense in the back of the car.
People
Can you understand? Like, do you speak the language?
Dude, I know there's a lot of people in Norway who listen to your show, so I'm going to say I can kind of understand about half the stuff that's being said.
Okay.
But this is a perfect excuse. My knuckles were so white on the steering wheel that I can barely clutch my beer right now. I all dug in the back of the car and took off to some community park that I'm walking around right now. I hope nobody stops me.
Well, you think about it. Toddlers are Norwegian, right?
Yeah.
You've been around toddlers.
What's that?
You have to. If you're around toddlers, you got to interpret what they're saying because they don't know how to say it.
You already
so now
have
you
to.
already have to interpret it twice.
No, I actually have a 6-year-old who does all the translating for me.
Nice.
I like that the 6-year-old is translating what your other child is saying.
The 6-year-old's like, "Hey, Dad,
What did he
you
say?
fucking idiot! The baby's hungry."
Oh man, if you guys only knew. If you only knew. The first time we flew over to the U.S., we were on the flight, and my kid, the battery on the iPad went dead, and the 6-year-old, who was like 4 at the time, I hear him go, "Oh, fuck." And I go, "Oh, sweet Lord." And I look at his mom to make sure she doesn't hear.
Right.
And I go, "Caden, man, you can't use that word. That's an adult word." And he goes, "Yeah, but Beau, this iPad's being a real fucker." And I'm like, "Oh man, I gotta cut back. I gotta cut back on the profanity."
When they start using it in context, you know they got it down really well.
Yeah.
Here I am on the radio station. Already have said it twice. So sorry about
That's
that.
all right. You're in the right place for that. It's okay. So, how long have you lived in Norway?
I've been over there for 7 years now. And language doesn't get any easier.
I bet. So it's not. So you met your wife abroad in Australia, and
Call his wife abroad.
no, I would never. And so you must have moved to Norway for her, not because you got a brewing job or something.
Well, yeah, that's actually kind of how it worked, and I kind of like a lot of dudes. I started as a really shitty home brewer. I think I got a little bit too into experimentation, a little bit too fast. And then this brewery down the road from where we were living, I actually used to be a whitewater rafting guide.
Oh, wow.
And beer's really expensive in Norway. And every time you flip a raft, you have to buy beer.
That's true.
So there's this whole community of international guides that are pretty good home brewers living in this little community in the middle of nowhere, Norway. So I started homebrewing there, and then this job opened at a brewery selling kegs, and then it was kind of one of those battlefield promotion situations.
Okay. So you didn't have formal training before that? It was just homebrewing, and you just jumped in?
No, just homebrewing and a lot of reading.
Okay, got it.
And it kind of, I'm not really an alcoholic. I'm an expert.
There you go.
There's
That's what we like to say, too.
Right.
So what was the first brewery that you worked at in Norway?
Well, I worked at this brewery called Lervig, and they just have massive systems over here. So my first experience with brewing was on like a 280 barrel system. Just
dove right in.
20. Yeah, and it was all manual. So you had to. It was kind of like driving a World War II German U-boat. Like you had to adjust everything.
Wow.
With levers and screws, and it was a really tough way to learn. But,
so it was just an old system?
No, it was actually from like probably the late 80s, early 90s, but they just didn't throw down the extra money for the pneumatic valves.
I see.
Yeah. They bought it used out of Germany.
Okay.
So
you're just running around pulling valves and wow.
Dude, sweating, burning myself. I mean, everybody does that. I think I just did it more than average.
Okay. How long did you work there?
I was there for 3.5 years, and yeah, man, it was actually, like, looking back on it now, like super good for my brewing.
Okay.
I just got a lot of experience in a really short amount of time.
Did you have good mentors teaching you, or you trial by fire?
I had no mentors teaching me for about the first 1.5 years. Yeah, it was. We were making primarily Pilsner, but I really like drinking like IPAs or kind of really hopped up pale ales, and I wanted to learn how to do it, and then I kind of, at some point you got to put your ego in check, and I knew I didn't have the moves, so I actually got the benefit of finding and hiring my own boss. So I hired this guy out of Denmark who had been brewing in Italy, who's from Pennsylvania, randomly, and I learned a few moves from him, a lot about hops, and kind of just basic like, so that's why we use those chemicals in CID.
I see.
Like, hygiene, yeast storage, pretty much everything that you should probably know before you use a 280 barrel system. And
right.
Like, I was like, it all makes sense now.
All right, so I have two questions. I'm gonna do this backwards. Be honest with me. The beer for the first year or so couldn't have been very good, like that you were making.
Oh, dude, it was. Man, I don't want to talk shit about the beer. It was just really shitty Pilsner.
Okay.
Like,
you mean like before you got there?
Yeah,
and during.
Yeah, I'd like to say it improved on my watch, but
okay.
Yeah, nah.
Okay. And all right, then the first question: how did you get the job? I mean,
I we're on the radio right now, so you guys can't really tell how good looking I am.
Okay.
But
right,
we can hear
I'm
it.
not hard on the eye. No, I'm kidding, man. I started filling kegs and then kind of started poking around, just being interested in the cellar, and I have a bit of mechanical aptitude and fixed a couple of things, and like I said, battlefield promotion, people quit or moved on to different jobs, and they're kind of like, hey, Beau, could you fill in for such and such? And next thing you know, they're like, hey, Beau, do you think you can run the brew house?
No, but I'll try.
So you're basically saying you were the only one left,
right?
Dude, yeah, yep.
Well, no, obviously you showed some aptitude, and they're like, you know what? The beer sucks already. He'll figure it out. Just let him go.
That's it, man. That's it. And then, from there, I actually, I was able to rack up quite a bit of experience, and I managed to kind of move into a big Carlsberg brewery, just another massive brewery. But it was kind of like along the lines of craft. This guy that came over, Mike Murphy, he brought a lot of experience with him, and he's done a lot of collabs with a lot of actually breweries you've had on, like Beavertown. The good buddies with Sean Hill from Hill Farms.
Okay.
So he had a lot of the right moves, you know, and I really got to learn a lot about so that's what makes that taste like that. And moved on to a Carlsberg brewery after that, and just I spent a lot of time making, like, not saying that Carlsberg is good Pilsner,
right,
but like learning how to make lagers right. You know?
Bet,
like
yeah.
just doing something consistently day after day, and then having like this huge lab to back it up.
Right.
Like, did you get the color right? Did you get the IBUs right? And they can do it. You really fine tune your brewing there.
Yeah, there's no messing around. Like it's either right or it's not. There's nothing in between.
Yeah, man. That's it. I'm not saying you want to do something like that for the rest of your life, but
Yeah.
for any brewer that has the opportunity to do it for a year, like, it'll make you a better brewer.
Yeah, that sounds
For
pretty
sure.
Oh, that's true for home brewers too. If they can get their process down so it's repeatable, even if they're not crazy
Yeah.
about it, they can. When they change it, they know what the result's going to be. They have they're able to get used to establishing a regimen.
Totally.
That's it, man. That's it. And
so from there, where do you go? Is it Austmann after that?
Well, then I actually I helped a few little breweries kind of start up. Like I said, I've got some mechanical aptitude, and kind of after watching a lot of people kind of make, you know, the wrong move starting a brewery, either starting too small or you know, just starting with bad equipment, what have you. I was able to help a few dudes along, and then I've been buddies with the guys at Austmann. It's three dudes, Thomas, Vinko, and Anders Cooper. And Coop's kind of this anomaly in the brewing world. When he was like 18, he went to like Cantillon on his summer vacation just to volunteer there.
Really?
And like clean barrels. Yeah, and that was like 12 or 14 years ago or something ridiculous.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, before he was even old enough to drink in the U.S., he was like interested in how barrel aging started.
Wow.
And it kind of, he's a real good, just solid at forming recipes, and he was a really gifted home brewer as well. And a lot of that stuff, my macro experience from his micro experience, and we kind of met halfway in the middle. And so he brings a lot of that to the table.
Okay.
And yeah, they asked me, I had finished my contract with Carlsberg. They basically brought me in, as there were 10 and 200 people from this satellite company to centralize everything in southern Norway and Oslo. So I was kind of trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life, and they offered me a job, which at the time, typical for brewing jobs too, paid probably less than I was making on unemployment.
Right.
But I just wanted to be back in a brewery.
Okay.
So hooked up the job.
And now you're making exactly what you'd make on unemployment.
Yeah, but I get free beer.
There you go. That's right. How long have you been with Austmann now?
I'm going on 1 year with these guys.
Okay.
And it's just, they're solid, man. Solid guys, solid company, and they're growing kind of sometimes, you know, as being part of a company, they're growing at just the right speed, but as being a brewer, it's like you never stop, you know. Like I left and I kind of shafted somebody else because you've got to brew all day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Forget that other person. Screw them.
Dude, I come back and they're like, so we heard your interview and we figured we'd just hire somebody, we just promote somebody. It seemed to work for you, man.
Right. Like, shit. kind to those dicks.
Yeah.
Americans, right? God.
Crazy. All right, so you must do barrel aging there with your...
We do.
Yeah,
We
okay.
do. We do quite a bit, actually.
What kind of beers do you barrel age?
Well, man, right now we've been messing around a lot with. So the system that we're working on is just really good at doing darker styles of beer. Like brown ales, that kind of thing. We're messing with we've got some stuff in rum right now, a couple of different varieties of whiskey, and then we just started messing with red wine, which is scary, bringing that into the brewery. And we kind of some interesting experiments with, you guys know anything about akavit?
No.
Akavit?
Yeah.
No.
It's kind of it's this Norwegian alcohol that's brewed with caraway seed and star anise and a bunch of other stuff. It's like a heavy-duty schnapps.
Okay.
And then they send it on ships from Norway down to the equator and back. And
just
kind of the swelling and temperature change kind of imparts the oak into the spirits. And
they know that they could just heat up a room,
Yeah,
right?
fucking. Have they heard of global warming, bro?
I mean,
gentle rocking motion, and it changed the temperature a little bit.
Fucking Norwegians, man. Everything's got to be on a boat and a conquest.
Right. No, it's what our ancestors did. We got to do it. It worked for them.
We do it the same old way.
Yeah.
Just extra room on the boat, you know?
All right.
Slow to change, man. Slow to change.
I guess so. They're also slow to make akavit because they sent it to the equator and back.
Is it good?
Oh, man.
Does it taste good?
Dude,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah, it tastes kind of like fire with the aftertaste of burning, but it's all right.
You kind of... So I would... you lost me at the star anise, though. That
licorice?
Yeah.
But I've had it before.
Sounds too gay for you?
You have had it, Doc?
Yeah.
You like it?
I like it, yeah.
Yeah. You like that kind of
fiery shit.
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
Dude, they put all kinds of, that's just one variety of the 700 different varieties of akavit that come out of Norway and Denmark and Sweden.
The main spice should be caraway or dill.
Yeah.
Dill?
They like the little seeds.
JP. JP takes
somebody
issue
just
with
jump
dill.
on Google right then and there.
I'm on Wikipedia right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Is this good? Is this drink straight, or is it like for I was thinking like a Bloody Mary?
No, you
with the
drink
dill
it,
character.
You drink it straight, and you drink it with all this fatty food
that you've just killed.
Yeah, reindeer.
Yeah, it just kind of cuts.
Yeah, like walrus.
Well, pork belly is a pretty big dish to eat that with, and
you drink it while eating endangered species,
while murdering baby seals.
It's
goes great with whale and spotted owl.
Right, that's the picture on the label.
It's a whale beating a baby seal, while spotted owl goes, yeah.
Oh my god!
Look, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. When you eat lutefisk, which is basically lute or caustic soda cooked fish, it doesn't hurt to have something that strong in taste and alcohol to kind of
to kill
get rid of that lye taste.
Kill your palate first.
Yeah.
All right, so you're using these barrels for some beer projects?
Yeah, man. Yeah, and just doing lighter beers in it. Like we did a collab with a brewery called Horn Beer out of Denmark.
Okay.
And we just did a really light kind of Belgian, I don't know, I guess Grisette type beer, and threw it in an akavit barrel for 6 months, and it seems to be kind of interesting. We'll see. I'm gonna keg it up when I get back, or if Anders hasn't kegged it up by the time I'm there, and we'll see what happens.
It sounds like it could be an interesting combination.
Yeah. And I like
Yeah.
using something that's unique. You know, instead of just
Right.
wine barrels and tequila barrels are kind of becoming the thing right now. I've seen a lot of people starting to use that. But I like using one from where you're from.
Well, and it's culturally relevant too.
That's what I
like
mean,
that.
yeah.
That tie is cool.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's kind of the whole idea behind it. And if the beer is good, then why not?
Exactly.
If it's bad, then do something else with it, I guess.
So,
I mean, whatever.
Yeah, give it to the fucking Danish,
Yeah,
of
put
course.
it on a ship and then sink that ship.
At the equator.
File an insurance claim. Oh, man, I had this really awesome beer and went down.
It went down.
Goes to France.
They're like, yeah, that's what you do with beer. You drink it. No, you don't understand. It went down. I got to ask you about this because I have it in my notes here. You guys do open fermentation in what are called Yorkshire Squares. Can you describe this system to me?
So, actually, basically think of a big, big 1-man, 5-woman hot tub.
They're tiled, aren't they?
1 man, 5 women. Yeah. You know what? I can picture that. I got
it. Beau party. That's what I'm getting out of this.
Yeah.
Right, dude. It's so these are actually stainless. They're not tiled, but kind of the really cool thing about this brewery is you just have a huge surface area on these things. So the yeast basically has no top pressure, and it's got it's like free-range chickens up there. It's got this huge surface area to kind of get its work done, and there's no stress on it.
Okay.
So you get these really good esters and like just a solid yeast profile. And on top of that, I mean, like working in big breweries or most breweries with Connie's with closed fermenters.
Yeah.
You kind of get to smell your yeast, kind of get to know when it's working.
Okay. Yeah.
But there's something really magical about being able to see it, like you can physically see when yeast is ready to harvest.
Right.
And with ale yeast, because you're always top cropping, you're always kind of getting the best yeast. Like you get it when it's at its most awesome.
Right.
So we've I think our first generation of American we ran like our first pitch of American we ran for 100 generations.
Wow.
Because essentially you get a pure culture every time you start it because you top cropped.
I see.
That's it, man. And it's, I don't know, just as a brewer, it's kind of a unique experience to have. You know, you get to go in there and you start realizing how hardy yeast really is. Like we have to be clean. Like the cleaning regime is pretty. Dude, you go straight up Breaking Bad in there. Full suit.
Oh, you do. That's what I was going to. So it's in like a pressurized room. It's not just in like the kill room that you guys must have.
That's it, man. It's got it's a positive pressure room.
Okay.
You have to be super careful about like not getting cross contamination when you're washing or harvesting.
Okay.
And we usually only juggle like 2 or 3 strains at a time, like have them actively going in the fermentation room.
Okay. So I was reading a little bit about the Yorkshire Squares getting ready for this, and maybe I was reading the wrong thing because you're just making it sound like they're just these big open fermenters. But when I looked it up, it sounded like, at least when they were invented, they kind of had 2 levels to them. So
originally they were designed so that you could actually push one crop into the next tank.
I see.
That was their original purpose, and we do the same thing, but without actually pushing. We just kind of shovel.
So that's the top cropping you're talking about. You just go in there and shovel the yeast off the top of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
Okay.
Sounds very laborious.
Yeah, because I was trying to get a picture of it when I was reading about it, and now you have cleared up a little bit, Beau. It sounded like there was just a way that the yeast would get pushed up into the top so that it was then just sort of separated for you. It was easy access to the top cropping.
That's how that's in an ideal world, brother. That's how it would work.
Right,
they kind of had these they had these big butter knives that they would kind of it would just flow over to the other side, and they would kind of run a 2x4 or something across the top.
Right.
Push one layer of yeast into
Effectively
the next.
a 2x4.
Okay.
So what percent? How much less yeast do you get doing it your way, where you shovel it, versus skimming essentially all of it?
Well, yeah, that's kind of a like, this is one of those things about kind of having that intimate connection with your system and your yeast. Like, you can actually judge by, I mean, not real technical. We're not doing cell counts here. Like, you can tell by the density and the weight of the yeast.
Yeah, and then of course
how much.
Yeah. And then the behavior of the ferment once you pitch. Because for instance, if you were under pitching, didn't collect enough, you would notice a big lag time. Right?
Yeah, that's it. Or it's basically we try. That's the one thing we try never to do is under pitch, just because it ties up the fermenters too long. But with the open fermentation systems, man, like, it's pretty hard to under pitch. Yeast is just really happy in those things.
So I like the way you're talking about it, and I hear all the benefits. But let me ask you this: if you were to open your own brewery tomorrow, would you do open fermentation the same way?
Oh, hell no.
Okay. And I don't mean that to say that you mean it's a bad. I believe everything you're saying. It's awesome. Anchor Steam does it. I love going over there to see it.
Yeah.
But
they sort of do. They do it for like some, right?
But it does sound most actually. But it does sound complicated. You know.
Well, it's really, 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 really labor intensive.
Right. Okay.
And it's nerve wracking. I mean, we deal in cleanliness, you know, we deal in sanitation, and you kind of makes your skin crawl a little bit. So you have to invest so much energy and also like cost into chemical products to clean with, to keep the room sanitary. And I mean, the product is phenomenal. But the workload that goes into it is also phenomenal.
Right.
Is it worth it, do you think?
I think so for some beers. In all honesty, like, there's some beers that you're really not gonna like. I mean, again, with a lot of beers with the American strain, like your IPAs, doesn't make a huge difference. But like brown ales, where you're using like English ale yeast or an Irish ale yeast, or like your Belgian yeasts really, really love. They're just happy in that system, and you get some really amazing flavors from like the yeast profile, and those things are. I mean, you can tell the difference for sure.
Just that fermenter shape in general. Maybe not even necessarily the open fermentation, but I would think that the shape has more to do with it.
The lack of pressure is basically
than the lack of pressure, but I don't know.
Not just the shape, but think about having like the surface area. I mean, you've got. Dude, I was going to start talking in meters here, but
that's all right.
You have
we have Google.
You have like six square meters of surface area as opposed to in a conical where you'd have like 1.5 meters.
Yeah.
And all of that is happy yeast going to work on your beer, you know. So it makes a huge difference. And then you have no top pressure on it either. It's just like there's basically very little atmospheric pressure pushing down on the yeast. So it's kind of just happy.
Let them run free reign.
They're lazy little fuckers.
Yeah,
so it cuts so the advantage is it cuts the fermentation time down, correct?
Yeah, man. We do bottle conditioning, and just because of oxygen pickup, basically. But we do a primary and a secondary fermentation, and it spends about 4 days, 3 to 4 days, in the open fermenters, and then probably put it in for another 5 to 7 days in the secondaries, and then 5 days in the bottle.
Okay. That's pretty quick.
Nice.
Yeah.
Out the door.
And ready to go.
Out the door. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Beau did try to bring us beer, actually.
He did.
He brought
The
it
old
all the way
international
over himself, actually.
He was his own mule.
He was his own mule, and, you know. I mean, he got the cocaine here, but not the beer.
Yeah, that's fine. This show's going 12 hours.
Yeah.
Hey, man, make sure you cut both balloons on that, by the way.
Okay.
Too late, bro.
That's a little bit better than
Evo's wonked out of her mind right now.
That gagger's for life.
I literally don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, God.
You can imagine.
I just for anybody that sends you guys beer in the future, like right on there, like sample massage oils, don't break, or something like that, rather than like go-kart parts, because they did not treat that box kindly.
So what happened? So you got it to the U.S. yourself and then put it in the mail here to get to us, and we broke it, basically, the U.S. mail?
Well, it was actually FedEx broke it, and it made it all the way to California, and I'm sure somebody got their package from like Bed Bath and Beyond, their towels just reeking of Berliner Weiss.
Nice.
What is this?
Oh, that's too bad. Thank you for trying. I brought it up just to thank you for it. But
apparently you sent us a ton of beers
dude,
too.
It was. They were all awesome. I guarantee you that.
I believe it.
But yeah, you know, it was actually a ton of a bunch of different collabs that we do, because my brewery, we work with a lot of really cool established and up and coming breweries, and that's just as brewers, Coop and I love to kind of put our brains together and see what comes up, and you learn a lot that way, and people get to work with you and learn some different techniques for doing things, and so it was kind of a highlight of beers from around Europe that were that were all magical. Each and every one.
Every one of them.
Everyone.
Everyone was a rainbow and a unicorn, man.
Mating.
Just all dry hop with unicorn horn.
Yeah.
It was a Viking riding a unicorn over a fucking rainbow in every bottle. Damn it!
30% dried whale liver. Delicious.
Well, thanks for trying, man. That's a bummer we didn't get it. So tell me about the...
I mean, I have them all. I'm saving them for my poker night.
Oh,
so
right.
Fine.
JP has them. What is the Norwegian craft beer scene like? You're talking about these collaborations and up-and-comers. Are there a lot of craft breweries now?
Man, yeah, it's a little bit nuts. I'm actually seeing the same thing in the U.S. market a little bit, but like, you know, everybody's kind of getting started. We have just this huge homebrewing community in Norway, because beer is, again, ridiculously expensive.
Okay.
So everybody homebrews over there, and they have these clubs, you know, like 20, 30 guys will get together and buy like a 5-barrel system, and they. So there's a lot of really cool recipes to develop. It's a little bit frustrating as a brewer though, because they're always coming up to you and they're like, "Yeah, I made your such and such, but I made it better."
Fuck you! I get paid for it.
Yeah, not very much. Not very much. But
they probably know that too.
You
They're
know,
like, "No, you don't."
There's a really cool brewery down south called Lindheim that just built a cool ship. I think they were voted one of the, top 5 new breweries in the world by Great Beer or some such shit.
Okay, yeah.
But they do a lot of stuff. They're on a fruit orchard, so they're doing some pretty cool, unique stuff. Nugna O has a huge barrel aging program. and you just, it's kind of like living in the Galapagos Islands. Stuff's just developing a little bit, evolving a little bit differently.
Okay.
There. And people tend to, people are a lot more excited about sour beers there. They drink a lot of sours. You can kind of get away with a little bit more there. And you, as a brewer, you have to keep things unique and interesting to keep people buying your beer.
Right.
So you don't have a chance to get stagnant,
Well, and
If
especially
you
if you're consumer based, there's so many homebrewers too, because they're making unique stuff. It's not just the other pros you have to outshine.
Oh, that's it. And it's kind of cool. We work with we have homebrewers come in pretty often and hang out, and sometimes for like winning competitions, we'll brew up one of their beers on our system.
Nice.
And it's great. It's great to be able to share knowledge or like draw them off some wort, and they can go out and pitch a different strain of yeast into it, or like try a different dry hop. And so we're pretty active with the community, which is awesome. And then you go out and you judge competitions fairly often, which is always kind of a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
But
so tell me, you're talking about how expensive the craft beer is. How much is it in U.S.? Like, what would a pint cost me?
Beer in general, brother. If you were to go out to a bar and have like a pint of the equivalent of like Budweiser's, so like Carlsberg, that'll run you somewhere between $10 and $12 for
U.S.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, we work on the Kroner there. So
God, I'd start home brewing again too.
Yeah, that's it. Like a bottle of our beer in the grocery store, probably runs somewhere around like $5 to $7 for 0.33 or a 12 ounce bottle of 4.7% pale ale.
For a 12.
Wow.
And do you guys have a tasting room or anything?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
We actually, man, we have a really sweet location, like right on the fjord, just a little bit out of the city.
Okay.
So we have open nights at the bar, and we just kind of open it up, and sometimes we'll throw weird kegs out there just to see what the reaction is, and we also do a lot with bars around town. So tap takeovers are huge in Norway. Beer makers dinners, where we pair up with like other restaurants around, and we kind of match our beers to their menu, which is always a ton of fun to do.
Yeah.
So we're represented pretty well around Norway. Starting to get into the UK a little bit. A few places in Germany, which is the scene that's going off in Germany right now is pretty crazy, as you know, from talking to the boys from Stone.
Yeah.
And they're really starting to kind of break into the market a little bit. Netherlands is another really cool market.
Okay.
And then you have some crazy shit going on in Eastern Europe right now, which is just nuts. Nobody's ever told those dudes how to do anything. So it's just like
not since the war.
They make it work, You're like there's this brewery in, I think it's in Lithuania, and they're taking like a whole beehive, like bees, honeycomb, and everything, and just throwing her in the wort. And then
sound like you could do that.
Because in Chechnya we don't waste anything. We throw in bee and beehive.
Yeah. We use whole bee. That's our thing. It's a brewery called Whole Bee. It's wings and stinger. It's a stinger in every bottle, guaranteed.
If beehive hanging from tree, we cut tree. We put in beer.
Whole tree. 4 feet down.
They chill the wort, and all the wax kind of floats to the surface.
Oh, sure, naturally.
And then, and when it cools off, it gets chunky, and they just peel these chunks of bee parts and wax out of there.
Wow.
And now we have beer.
That's awesome.
It's called
actually.
wax filtering. It's a new thing in Chechnya.
It's new technology.
Yeah.
There's real parts of beer in there.
It's brand new.
Stinger in every bottle.
It's brand new from the makers of Shoe.
Hey, enjoy that. That's 6% B.
Right.
Yeah.
You mean honey, right? No.
No.
You're
honey.
right.
B.
We definitely mean B. Man, so I like stories like that, though. Just countries that you're not hearing about in the beer world, all of a sudden, popping up as craft brewers. That's cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of that whole, the local market. Like, dudes just kind of getting sick of drinking the same thing and thinking like, we can do it, or even better in like Norway. They've been doing it for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's just kind of branched out on its own into this unique entity, like kind of smoking their own malt and doing crazy stuff like that.
Wow.
Like, wow.
I
actually had a
Go
beer
ahead.
that we sent with you guys that didn't make it there, that we made with like pine, bog myrtle, and oregano.
Wow.
It was pretty
What
phenomenal.
the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, a shame that one didn't make it.
You know how I'm a big fan of bog myrtle.
Nut
bar.
Come on, man. That beer.
What is
That beer is delicious.
Is it?
It's their IPA.
Yeah, too bad you guys didn't get it.
That is
Like,
too
it would have
bad.
been something special.
Yeah,
like I said, unique.
The Greek in me is mourning the loss of the oregano beer. So I do want to try it.
I'm still mad I didn't get my stinger.
Kind of happy some of these beers didn't make it now, man.
Not at all. Not at all.
I would have loved to try
Like,
that.
hey,
for
man,
sure.
we get to fill in for this Beau guy. This beer is something else.
Yeah. When we get quiet, we don't like the beer.
Like, oh, this it has a good carbonation level to it. Tell me the other carbonation. Yeah.
What kind of
Oh,
glass
that's
is
a
this?
really unique, interesting thing you got going on there.
What
in
is
Norway.
that in there?
Yeah.
I love the
Bog
cap.
myrtle.
Yeah, the cap is amazing. It really seals the beer in.
I would have loved it if we did taste it, and Doc was like, "Is that fog myrtle?" He just picks it out.
I would love that too.
Oh, shit.
So what would be like a traditional Norwegian beer style? Is there? You said it's
hammered.
Man. They kind of have like a Roik beer, like a smoked beer that's, I guess that's about as traditional as it gets.
Okay. Smoked beer.
But I mean, dude, Norway is this kind of whole country of little villages, and everybody kind of did their own thing there for a long time. I mean, if you guys ever have a chance to read any of Michael Jackson's stuff, he did a bunch of research into yeast cultivation in Norway around Voss, where they basically have these kind of sticks that they use to stir the cooled wort with, that they pass down from generation to generation, and they didn't realize they were kind of passing down the yeast strain from generation to generation, and they just knew that stick was a big part of their beer making. And there's still houses in Voss and around that area in Norway that have these things in their family for 600 or 700 years.
That is cool. That is very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, folks, if you want to learn more about Austmann, you can go to austmann.no, AUSTMANN.no. They've got quite a beer list. You guys brew a lot of different beers just looking at your website. And I'm sure that's not all of them, but I think I'm just looking at your standards, and there's 12, right? 16? 12.
Yeah, something like that. We kind of have stuff coming in and going out and seasonals.
Okay.
It's just the way the market works there. It's a little bit weird. You got it has to be below 4.7 to get into the grocery store market. So
Interesting.
I think we got about 5 that we keep in there, and then other stuff that obviously with the barrel aged stuff, it's kind of hit or miss.
So where can you
sometimes-
sell the rest? Like if it's over that, you sell it at liquor stores and
Quite literally, it's called the Wine Monopoly.
okay.
Wow. They run liquor store. Yeah, they sell it.
It's government.
Yeah, the government kind of controls everything and taxes the shit out of it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
we also, there's a lot of real good beer bars around Norway now, and they take in a lot of our stuff. And like I said, we do a fair amount of export as well.
Okay.
Which helps a lot.
Yeah. All right, man. Listen, I know you're standing on the side of the road over there and talking to us, so I appreciate your time. I don't want your 3-year-old to curse at you for too long.
Quite literally, I'm walking through a park thinking of Hooma Loopalicious from Shorts Brewing, and families are walking past me. They're going to be looking some kind of hobo.
So much judgment happening.
Oh, yeah. They're like, did you see that guy? He's either homeless or Norwegian. I can't tell.
He might be a mix of both, Becky.
Talking to myself as well.
Cursing and laughing outbursts.
Cool.
Beau
All right,
Schiner
guys.
from Austmann Brewing, ladies and gentlemen. Go check him out at Austmann. And thanks again for being on the show. I appreciate your time. It's good to learn about you and your brewery, brother.
Thanks a ton for having me, guys. I'll hopefully talk to you later.
Yep. Take care,
All
man.
right, Beau.
Hope to
Later,
meet
man.
you. Cheers.
Cool. Later.
There we go. Beau Schiner. Sounds like a NASCAR driver.
Beau Schiner coming around the turn. Number 8, Beau Schiner. Here he is, Beau Schiner. Your Triple Crown champion, Beau Schiner.
Classic Beau Schiner.
Classic Beau Schiner move. That's no BS either, bro.
Man, I don't like doing the
beerless interviews.
That.
Oh, okay.
And these shows from people with other countries just make me want to leave.
Honestly,
I just get the travel bug
You're
every
missing
time.
something.
Every time I'm like, I got to go to Norway. I got to go to South Africa. Just makes me want to leave.
Yeah, he said the fjord, and I'm like, I want to go.
That
love
sounds
fjords. Great. I'm a fjord guy.
I have a collection of fjord photographs.
I'm gonna dip your toe in the fjord.
Right. My name in the forum is Harrison Fjord. So the whole thing. I love it so much.
God.
Wow, that
You're
was
an
stupid
idiot.
and awesome. I'm Harrison Fjord. That's your Norwegian forum
My
name?
Norwegian forum name.
I hate you.
Your Norwegian Tinder name? Hello.
Hello. I'm Harrison Fjord.
I bet it works. They're like,
it works.
I loved you in, I don't know, some porn name of a Star Wars flick.
Star Wars. I don't know Norwegian accent. What do I know? Sounds like an IKEA catalog to me.
Fjord. That's your best dumb joke in years.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think that was a compliment, right?
I think so. I don't know. I'll take it. Look, I'll take it. Coming from you, I'll take it.
Take it. Take it while you can. Hey, the American Homebrewers Association wants you to know that AHA members enjoy discounts at well over 1,400 participating breweries, pubs, beer bars, and homebrew supply shops. And there's even a handy deal finder and map at homebrewersassociation.org. So if you're going somewhere, you can punch in the location and see which of the local beer bars have AHA deals. For example, if you were coming to Concord, you'd find out that the Hop Grenade gives you an AHA discount.
All the better ones do.
Yeah.
And this is a better one for sure.
So it's a pretty sweet benefit because you can basically pay for your membership with how much you save on beer, food, and don't forget homebrew supplies because a lot of homebrew shops participate in this as well. So including, of course, our friends over at morebeer.com.
Yeah.
So it's just another great reason to become an American Homebrewers Association member. If you're looking to do it now, click on the AHA link right on the Brewing Network homepage, or you can click on the banners, and then you sign up through us. We get a little bonus for that, so you're helping out us and you're helping yourself. They're working on a new Zymergy app over there. They've got the regular AHA app, I think, has been launched now, which is just great. You don't even have to carry around your membership card anymore. So go check them out, homebrewersassociation.org. You've been hearing us talk about this for years. It's time to go sign up. Do it now. All right. I think we're going to take a little break.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I need a beer.
Me too.
I need a beer and a pee. I need to go wee-wee.
All right, I need both of those things. I think we're all on the same page here.
I think we can make this happen
tonight. I think, there's a lot of harmony. I wonder if it's that Beardy is gone. Maybe this is the thing.
Does it mean we're cycling together?
We're cycling together. We're synced up. We're slow clapping. No more Beardy. No more Beardy. No more Beardy. No more Beardy. No more Beardy.
Oh, sorry.
Wow. Right. I hope he's listening on his drive home right now, crying into his beard.
He's not.
No, of course not.
All right, he's a very sensitive man.
He is very sensitive.
All right, you're listening to The Session. When we come back, we got some beer news to do for you. We haven't done that in a few weeks. And also other things.
Other things?
Yeah. Hang in there. It's The Session.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. The Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on two gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller, and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlickmanEngineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy. Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star San, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states, plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small, single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy f***ing shit!
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
If you work in retail sales, the restaurant industry, or are a new craft beer enthusiast, or you know someone who is, you have got to check out Beer 101. Beer 101 is an online course created for anyone wanting a quick introduction to the vast world of craft beer. Beer 101 covers the history of beer, brewing ingredients and processes, vital stats like ABV, SRM, IBU, and gravity, styles, tasting, glassware, and pairing beer with food. The Beer 101 course is offered by the Brewers Association at craftbeer.com, also home to the truly awesome Beer Style Finder, a visual guide to every beer style. Quickly play with color, bitterness, and alcohol content to interactively explore the entire world of beer styles with a gorgeously designed interface to your favorite beverage. The new Beer 101 course and new Beer Style Finder are only available at craftbeer.com. Craftbeer.com, celebrating the best of American beer.
Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and the freshest ingredients, backed by the best customer service in the business. Do you like to mash using efficient fly sparging, but would like an easy way to heat your strike and sparge water? Enter the new Brewer's Edge electric mash water heater, a plug-in, anywhere, precisely controlled heater for strike and sparge water. Ditch the fumes and second burner and make mashing easy. Go to williamsbrewing.com today and browse their vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 4 p.m. Pacific Time weekdays ship the same day. Brewing is easy the Williams way.
Tuned into this session because life's too short to listen to crappy radio.
Welcome back to the show. Thanks for hanging out with us. Also, thank you to our fine sponsor, Brad, over at Beersmith Homebrewing Software. Go check them out at beersmith.com right now. Get your free 21-day trial. Wonder why he chose 21 days.
Right, why not 20? Why not 22? Why not 30?
3 weeks.
Yeah, but still, it's just a random. Anyhow,
get him on the phone.
It's Brad. Call me, Brad. Call me, Brad. Anyhow, it's plenty of time to evaluate the software and discover that you should pay for it. Because you really are never going to use another piece of homebrewing software once you use Beersmith. It's a hands down. But you don't have to take my word for it. I wish you would. I'm a trustworthy guy.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. Download Beersmith right now. You can do it on Mac. You can do it on PC. It does everything you need it to do and a bunch of things that you didn't know you needed it to do. But, you'll grow into it. Don't worry.
Oh, you will, for sure, especially in a hobby like this, where there's always something to manipulate or something to change or to improve on.
Yeah.
And Beersmith has all of those inputs in there.
It does.
So as you grow as a home brewer, like I hate dealing with water. I will never deal with it. But some people really love it.
Yeah.
And as you start off from an extract to an all grain, then to start messing with your water, it's already built in. And it's kind of nice to have a software that anticipates what you're going to need as you progress through the hobby.
You can scale it all up. You can put in your system. You can change systems. You can have as many profiles as you want. It's really cool. You can really grow into it. It's like a robe with your name embroidered on it that somebody gifted you at their wedding. You wear it. It grows on you.
It envelops you in not only warmth, but creativity and friendship. Really,
and
is what it is. Yeah,
clearly.
Yeah, it's an enveloping robe of software.
That's what it is.
Yes,
I'm going to send that tagline over to him. Beersmith Homebrewing Software,
an enveloping robe of software.
Go to beersmith.com right now and brew with confidence. Check it out, guys. All right, so. What are you drinking, JP?
I'm drinking the cider. There's a cider on tap from Humboldt Cidery or whatever.
Oh.
I think it's a wild ferment, some Brett character coming through. It's pretty good.
There's a whole beehive in every cider, in every pint.
Right.
They cut
down a whole tree. Yeah. Whole orchard goes in every batch.
In Chechnya, there's no pollen, so we kill whole hive.
Right.
We save them from destruction. By destroying.
It's ironic, no?
We're good at irony. All right, we wanted to do a little bit of beer news this segment, guys. What's happening in the world of craft beer in America and the world?
In the world as we know it today.
JP, yeah.
There's a few interesting stories, actually. If you've never heard of something called the Beer Institute.
JP, you're like the Diane Sawyer of the beer news world.
Oh, with like feathered hair, or like what is it? What is it about me?
It's your personality.
Am I short?
It's
Sorry.
your soft touch.
Oh, I do have a soft touch.
Gentle touch.
Yeah, right. Carry on. I'm
Who's
sorry.
bringing us beer news today? Make something up. It must be good.
We should give it to somebody. You know what? You know who hasn't sponsored a segment in a little while? Probably my fault, not theirs.
Yeah.
21st Amendment.
There we go.
Bringing
Those are
you the
great
beer
guys.
news today. God damn it, do I love those guys. Sean O'Sullivan and the beer in the cans.
He wrote a foreword for some book that's going around town now, a
Really?
new beer book, and he wrote the foreword.
Is that right?
Yeah, apparently
I would
he
let
did a good
him
job.
write the foreword of my book.
You know how long I've been begging to write a foreword for a book, and you would turn me down for Sully?
Well,
yeah,
no,
I
I'm
wouldn't
just
hold that
saying-
against you, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good...
I've done cover notes.
By the way, the foreword
no
would
forward.
be longer than
I'd write
the book.
I'd write the
anyway.
cover notes, but the foreword, yeah, I would give it to Sully, too.
I would have you write the cliff notes
I could do that.
of my book, which
What
is
if
really
you wrote the biography of the author?
Oh, you could write my
of the author.
Is that a thing that somebody that you give to somebody? Here, write my biography. That's
Well,
fucked up.
Like, there's always like a blurb on the back about the author, right?
Yeah,
I did say author.
But you don't give
Author.
that to somebody to do. That's like a chore.
Not only do you give them, you call them up and invite them personally.
You know
Well,
what
we
I
know
mean?
this isn't going to happen anyway.
Right.
Right.
It's a
So
very big favor, Doc. Don't take the imaginary
Right.
favor away from me. Yes, I would be honored to write the biography
Yes.
of the author.
Yes.
Yeah.
That Sully will do the forward of.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So 21st Amendment brings you today's beer news by the Diane Sawyer of the beer world, our friend JP.
Very good
Thank you.
introduction.
You're welcome.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I wish it was Barbara Walters because I can do her Baba Walters.
Oh, you can do that.
Baba Wawa?
A Diane Sawyer, I don't know what that is.
You're no Barbara Walters.
I'm no Barbara Walters, that's true. I don't have enough wrinkles.
Yeah.
If you've never heard of something called the Beer Institute, you aren't alone, but you are about to be very familiar with its work to bring nutritional information panels to beer labels everywhere. The trade group, whose members total around 80% of our nation's beer producers, so, Miller, Coors, Budweiser, all these people,
Of
right?
course. They can afford it.
Right. They've all assembled the Brewers Voluntary Disclosure Initiative, which is a very fancy way of asking its members to list the ingredients and nutritional information of their products.
Okay.
While totally voluntary, the Beer Institute says all of its members have agreed to join the initiative. Participating brewers and importers will voluntarily list calories, carbohydrates, protein, fat, for some reason, because apparently people need to see the zero fat.
Right.
And alcohol by volume on their beer products by including a serving facts statement consistent with the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax Trade Bureau. In addition, they will provide freshness dating and disclose ingredients via a list, a reference to a website with the information, or a QR code on the label or secondary packaging. According to a recent survey conducted by the Harris Poll, on behalf of Nielsen, 72% of beer drinkers think it's important to read nutritional labels when buying food and beverages. So it's a thing that people apparently, according to this poll, are give a shit about.
It's a food thing. I can see that. And
72%, really?
It's a lot.
That's a lot, isn't it?
That's a lot.
There are a couple
you guys,
things.
This room, how many? There should be at least one of us in here that is.
On food, I do. On beer, I don't.
Yeah, food I get.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
Food.
but not.
I don't care.
Maybe that was reworded so it's food or beer, one or the other, then 72%. I could see that.
That's a lot of people, and some of them can't read.
Well, it says when
72% of people even read.
Right. It says when buying food and beverages. Like
Right. So they need to separate the two.
Yeah.
So there's a problem with the poll already if they're putting the two together.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say this. I kind of like the listing of ingredients.
Yeah. In what order they're in.
And, well...
No, it means the most is at the top.
How big was that business?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you know what's the most is at the top.
Just for recipe?
Well, here's what changed my mind about that. And I mentioned this on the show before. When I did the KQED forum about beer, a caller called into that show and was talking about kosher food and was concerned that now that more non-traditional ingredients are going into beer, that there are people who are kosher that will be concerned about that. But then he also expanded that to others too.
Yeah. And what did you tell Scott?
Right. So I thought he brought up a valid point that if we are starting to put in lots of ingredients in beers, I do think they should be listed. What
Okay.
if you have a particular allergy? What if you?
Yeah. I'm allergic to nuts, and of course I drink a
Right,
ton of nut beers. People go, "Here, try my homebrew." Like, well, what is this? Well, it's an almond beer. Like,
Has a nut
I'm going to
beer
die.
ever bother
No,
you?
never
Almond
ever.
beer.
As the beer,
I'm gonna die. What is this? An almond beer? I'm gonna
Is
die.
that like, you don't like it, Tasty? Oh my God! No,
well, I like
I'm
your
just
beer.
allergic.
I'm just not going to like having my life short by so much.
Well, somebody has definitely money in the death pool then.
Yeah.
They're handed to that.
Right. Anyway, yes, I agree. For allergy purposes, and maybe you just don't like certain flavors, and you don't even want to buy the product and take it home.
Sure.
Yeah.
Licorice. I don't want that. I'm out.
Habanero. There's any number of these things.
You get a colonitis. You can't be.
Ingredients, I think that's fine. Yeah, I want to know what's in the beer.
all. Yeah.
But I don't know, the fat content. I mean, it's going to be 0. But I think it's like people who label cider as gluten free. Of course, it's fucking gluten free. There's no gluten in it.
Yeah,
that's why it's gluten free. And so I'm wondering, when this starts happening, how many breweries are going to start labeling fat free.
Right.
Fat-free beer.
Yeah.
As kind of
love that. Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like the light
Which is the same as saying cold filtered.
Right.
It's everybody.
Well, some people are allergic to bees,
too. What if it started a carbohydrate war where they go this Stone IPA is only 300 calories.
Yeah.
This Sierra Nevada beer is 400. I'm going to get the lighter one.
Well, I think you bring up a good point.
I think people will do that.
I think this is, and I think that this is part of the reason this trade organization is choosing to do so. Now, first of all, a company that is in a business to make money, as a capitalistic company, would never on their own, for no reason at all, ask for more supervision,
of course not.
transparency,
More transparency.
Things like, I'm not saying all corporations are evil, but in general, they wouldn't do this for no reason. So there's two clear reasons. One is to make it more of the norm, and of course, small breweries can't afford to evaluate their beer and
because it's going to cost something to have this done, to label it, everything else.
Find out how many calories. Find out how
make
many.
sure it is those calories. You can't. It's another variable.
It's going to cost them money to do it. They're getting something out of it somehow, whether it's even just squeezing the little guy out.
Right. But the second part, I think you hit the nail on the head, Tasty, is that craft beer, I'm going to assume, maybe you guys feel differently, has more calories, more carbohydrates.
Oh, it's loaded.
Right? And so I think it's also a means of pointing that out to people who may or may not know that already, and then starting this sort of carb war thing, right?
Right. I mean, like on the back of a coaster, you could also make a coaster today that says, the average beer is about 400 calories, or whoa, I had no idea. Like a 6.5% IPA might be 350, 400 calories. People don't even know that, but it seems like an overkill to put it on every bottle. Yeah. I mean, it seems like it'd be just good something to know, just ballpark how much is in that beer.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I think it's also a we're better than you kind of tactic by omission, because it's only really people who are part of the voluntary disclosure initiative that are doing it, which are the big brewers. The craft brewers aren't involved in this. So the big brewers are going to be seen as, well, we have nothing to hide, quote unquote. So here's all of our stuff. Here's how many calories are in there.
Yeah.
What were the craft beers hiding?
And invariably, those calories will be less as well.
For sure. And let's say someone looks at like a can of Guinness.
Yeah.
And it has 400 calories. And then they look at a can of Budweiser and it has 280 or whatever.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get more people going towards macro beers than the craft beers,
right?
Just based on calories.
That's what I think.
Exactly.
No, well, for instance, if you could make a beer that tastes as good, 250 calorie beer that tastes almost as good as a 400 calorie beer,
you'd be happy to drink it.
You're gonna get that. Why not? You have an extra one a day.
But I wonder if
calorie load.
I wonder if people are going to forego some flavor for that reduction in calories.
Yeah, we'll find how far they're willing to go.
They're going to sacrifice some of
that. They may not go from
well, I think the question is
Sierra Nevada Pale Ale to Bud Light, but they may go down to a session IPA.
Yeah.
Thinking of it now, this could resurrect the session IPA as a style.
Resurrect.
Make it like give it a kick in the ass.
Yeah, uplift it even more.
Yes.
You know what I like to do to watch my calories and carbohydrates is not eat food.
Oh, yeah.
I like to drink the beer and not eat the food.
When I diet, I just stop eating all carbohydrates except beer.
Except beer.
Any breads, I don't none. Just But then I lose weight.
Because you need carbohydrates for your diet.
I'm just taking them in a liquid.
Yeah.
Eating takes time
and effort.
It slows you down, fills you up.
It's gross.
Yeah. And
you ever watch somebody eat? It's fucking disgusting.
And it burns calories.
Yeah, and it takes up beer space.
It does.
It does take up and beer money. To be honest, and
you got
you
to go buy the ingredients or buy the food. It's a pain.
Comes in its own package.
It's fucked up.
Beer though, you're ready to go.
Couple lines.
Couple lines of beer.
Couple lines of beer.
Yeah, you're all right.
All right. What else is in the news?
Funny you asked that,
JP Sawyer.
We've covered several lawsuits on this show, or about as well as a group of homebrewers can cover the news.
Luckily, none of our own. God bless us. Knock on wood.
But none has made more of an impact on the conversation than the suit a homebrewer brought against Miller Coors for their Blue Moon brand.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that thing?
Yeah.
Well, the dust has finally settled on that case, in which Miller Coors was accused of being deceptive and misleading in a violation of California consumer protection laws, including California's Consumers Legal Remedies Act, false advertising law, and unfair competition law. The plaintiff argued that Miller Coors misleadingly conveyed that its Blue Moon beer is a, quote, craft beer produced by a small, independent, and traditional craft brewery, when in fact it's a mass-produced beer, as well as charging premium prices more in line with true craft beer.
Yeah.
And this home brewer from San Diego was really pissed about that. Well, the good news, everybody, the court concluded that the advertising from Miller Coors was, quote, non-actionable puffery, because the advertising was vague and did not specifically state that the beer was a craft beer. It just says artfully crafted. They never said craft beer.
Yeah, their lawyers are better than ours.
Yeah, well, and when we reported this, we all were kind of like, well, it doesn't say craft beer, so why is he attacking them for saying craft beer?
Yeah.
Familiar.
The guy's an idiot.
Yeah, I was with him in a sense. I was playing a bit of devil's advocate, but yes.
Yeah.
I think we did all agree that it didn't say craft beer, but I was saying, well, there's still
it says brewed by the Blue Moon Brewing Company, which is owned by corporate.
They're hiding the fact that they brew it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The courts also did not agree that premium pricing actually led consumers to decide a product was better.
Oh.
So they totally threw out every aspect of this lawsuit.
They wiped this guy out.
Yeah, they won.
He's devastated. So his life is over. He's
I
ruined.
hope it is.
So they were able to determine that the concept of something being a craft beer did not mean that the beer was better than another beer.
No, based on the pricing. So if you had a 6-pack of $9.95, Stone IPA, and there was a 6-pack of $8.95 Blue Moon, that didn't lead customers to assume that both of those are craft beers, just because the prices are in line with each other.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. It would be. I think the average consumer would think that
it is,
especially if it's being marketed and on television and so forth as a craft beer. I mean, they got pictures of the brewmaster like he's a regular dude. And he is. I think I met the guy.
It's the janitor.
He
he's
their
a
own
nice
brewmaster.
dude. Yeah,
it's a good guy.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
we had him on the show, or was it the FM show? We talked to him on a radio.
We talked to him, and I talked to him at GABF. Very nice man, but he invented the beer, but that was it. Like he gave them the recipe.
Yeah.
He was the brewmaster of that beer.
I guess
Jamil's book.
I feel like he was the recipe master.
Probably
he was on a pilot system.
He was the key master.
Who's the gatekeeper?
Are you the key master? Yeah. Well, okay.
Anyway,
so he didn't get anything.
He didn't get anything.
He didn't have enough legal to stand on there.
Yeah.
You know what hearing this story made me think of? This is going to sound like a non sequitur, but it's relevant.
Okay.
We need to have Chris Black from Falling Rock sit in on our news segments.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to things like this, he's very opinionated, and he has a great way of giving the angle of the
what it really means
of the craft, what it really means. But also, he's a little slighted. He's like the Bernie Sanders of craft beer commentary, right? Because he's way over to the left. He'll be like, no, of course they're duping us. They should have Miller Coors should have lost this lawsuit. But then he also would have given a lot of great reasons why it would be entertaining to listen to. I'm thinking that next time we do a beer news, I'm going to invite Chris Black to call in.
That'd be great.
And
I like that guy.
And comment with us, because I think I like him a lot, and I think he would.
Okay.
Let's see what he wants to comment about. Let's see what news he's interested in.
Yeah, I'll try to tell you when there's some charged stories such as this one.
Because he'll jump in. I watch him on Facebook now, and he sometimes writes for the craftbeer.com, the great people over at craftbeer.com.
Oh, really? Okay,
and he'll put up articles about this stuff all the time. Mergers, buyouts, you name it.
Okay.
All right. That's my
opinionated guy.
It's my production note for
have
the
something
day.
to say about it.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Carry on.
And that's the third story. No, here we go. Last but not least. I don't know if you knew this, Justin, but robots are taking our jobs.
Robots.
Yeah, robots.
Robots are taking our jobs.
Yeah, man.
First, jobs.
First, the First, the assembly line monkeys in the 50s, right? Everyone's grandparents are building, Chevys or whatever, and then we got robots to take over that. So now all the assembly lines, right?
Yeah, my grandma's out of work.
Right?
Yeah.
Then the sex workers. Now we're having sex with robots.
We
in Japan.
are?
Yeah,
Where
for sure,
can
man.
I do that?
It's Japan. It's a whole thing, man.
This is we stuff.
Japan just moved
Them.
above Norway and South Africa.
Well, hold on. I may just made that up, but it's fine.
It's not that show.
Eventually, it'll happen.
All right.
And now the job of beer recipe formulator is off by robots.
What?
It's not a real job, but it's like a brewmaster job, but like the recipe formulation of the right. A company called Intelligent X Brewing has put out a line of 4 beers, each one made from and altered by consumer input.
Are we playing Find the Fake?
No,
This is, okay.
we aren't.
Okay.
Simply message. So when you're drinking the beer, all you have to do to provide this input is message the bot. It's a bot. It's a robot, right?
Yeah.
Via Facebook Messenger, and tell it what you like and don't like about the beer via a 10-question form.
Can I just point out that a bot is different than a robot?
Well, yeah, but it comes from robot.
Okay,
the bot.
I'll give
right?
you that.
That's why I was letting you know because you don't understand technology.
You're right.
I'm telling you, Grandpa, it's robot, and just simplified it for
Got it. Thank you.
Android.
Right.
Android. Yes.
Android.
Yes.
So you tell the bot what?
What are these questions like?
You do a 10-question form like, how did you like the body? Or how did you like the whatever?
Okay, but it needs more like digital data. So you're going to say light in body, too much body, or some sort of
I didn't get a whole
input.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it would add all up and go they want less body, so it'll change the recipe.
Yes, so that's exactly what it does. So that information is then relayed back to the brewers for inclusion in the next iteration of that particular beer.
I thought the bot actually made the decision on the recipe.
I don't know how that works. I would imagine it provides what people are saying.
All the data,
but I mean, it's AI,
it's a survey,
right?
basically.
Right, so it calls out what it needs to do.
Tasty, you're way ahead of me.
I'm sorry.
I still don't even understand.
So
you get a questionnaire.
So robots.
Okay,
right. Robot in your computer
gives you a questionnaire.
He's the grandpa now. Yes, right. Yeah.
You're ahead of me.
Sit on my knee, son.
He's playing Pokemon over there. I'm still trying to figure out what a robot is.
I'll give you the low hug. It'll be fine.
So you get a questionnaire from a robot.
No, so you're drinking the beer. Let's say I'm drinking this beer. This is from Intelligent X Brewing.
Yeah.
I go, hey, I like this beer. I message them on Facebook, essentially. And their bot, their programming, their code interacts with me and asks me what I like, what I don't like about it.
Okay.
And it's 10-question form. And then those changes are uploaded to the database.
Okay.
And via AI, artificial intelligence, it determines what needs to be adjusted in the recipe and what doesn't. And the brewmaster, I think, has final say over it. But they're taking it's basically crowdsourcing a beer each time it's brewed. Each batch is a different batch based on your input or my input or Tasty's input.
Can we talk about artificial intelligence for a second?
No,
I feel
AI.
I thought we were.
Doesn't it sound like a fancy way to say stupid? Because you
is.
either have intelligence. But if the intelligence is artificial, it's not really intelligence.
Well,
so
no,
it's
but
dumb. It's stupidity.
Well,
it's artificial because it wasn't manifested. It was created.
It's not organic.
It's not natural.
Semantics. In the English language, it also could mean intelligence that is not real.
Well, it
which
could mean
would equal stupidity.
I contend this artificial intelligence engine, would create artificial stupidity. Because here's why.
Thank you.
Here's why.
I think Tasty gets me.
Because of the 100 people, you watch Family Feud, right?
Yeah,
that's one of the top.
Who doesn't?
Top shows on TV right now.
I mean, I've seen it. I don't actively watch it.
They're great. You can
Bob
watch
Barker, you can
watch one after the other. The old ones. It's great.
It's not Bob Barker.
You show that when you watch that show, you realize how stupid people are.
Yes.
No, really. You feel really smart when you're done.
Right.
Because they just don't know these, like, they don't make them say the weirdest things.
Yeah. Like what?
Like, what were you thinking? Well, like, you know how the answers are.
Usually, what's the next word for this? And they come up with something.
so off the
The
wall.
guy says survey says, and then they say something stupid.
Oh, Family Feud.
Family Feud.
You said I thought Wheel of Fortune, so I'm like, I don't understand. You spin a fucking wheel, bro.
First of all, Bob
That's
Barker
still not
never
Bob Barker.
once. Bob Barker did the wheel. The
That's-
Price is Right.
Yes.
Right, that's what I was saying.
Pat Sajak did Wheel of
Right.
Fortune.
No, he did Jeopardy.
No, no.
That's not Pat Sajak. That's Alex Trebek.
Yes.
That's yes.
Well, then who's America's Funniest Home Video?
Louis Armstrong.
Oh, yes!
No.
I fucking love that guy.
Bob Saget.
I think we hit you guys' sweet spot here.
Why do I know all of this?
Because you're a grandma.
You're
He's on
just
first
stay-at-home
right
wife,
now.
whatever.
All
Anyway, so out of 100 brewers that taste the beer,
Yeah.
and I know the average beer drinkers. You know the average beer drinkers. They don't
No.
know shit about beer, right?
No.
So they start. They're going like, too much of that shit. I have no idea. I'm just get through the survey. They don't know.
Right.
So what's the AI engine get? A bunch of like bad data.
Yeah,
which
right.
makes it a stupid. And it'll give you a
That's a
stupid
good
answer.
point. That's a
You're
good point.
saying
But-
I was right.
So I think that's why the brewmaster ultimately has maybe final decision on it.
Exactly. Goes that. It's like getting a meat color recipe.
Yeah,
Like,
but
everybody gets one and goes like, I'm not drinking. I'm
Right.
making this shit with my name on it.
From what I can,
I'll change it.
from what
I'll
I can
change
gather
it.
from the articles, a couple articles that I read, they're very broad questions. So it's
Well,
like
that's
describe
racist.
like how was the mouth feel?
And they go,
So what if
Did you
how many
like it?
Out
How
of
does the
average
mouth
100
feel?
people drinking beer and that
So, like,
brand,
what-
how many would even know what that means?
Well, right. So like they have
It was
an
wet.
amber ale,
Wet.
and they go, how was the mouth feel, or was it too bitter? How was the bitterness? Describe it in like three, whatever, right?
Sure.
Right, but the input
He's not
coming
wrong.
back, yeah.
Yeah, he's not wrong, but I think, like I
Wait,
said,
and
from
then
what I
what
gathered,
happened?
it's as dumbed down as you can, while also trying to funnel the good creativity, like the actual input, to reproduce the beer in a different format.
I get that.
So what
Just
is
the
that's-
logic flaw is the creativity assumed to be there.
Yeah,
So the
but it's
point
not.
is that the brewer gets the results to change the beer,
Yes.
or the survey takers get a recipe to brew beer.
No, the brewery, the Intelligent X Brewing Company, they're actually producing. It's in the UK right now.
Oh, it's a brewery.
It's a brewery. They're
I
actually
missed that.
producing these
Maybe
beers.
I'm
So they get the
stupid one.
feedback, and supposedly the next beer is going to be
It's slightly different.
slightly
So-
different and better because of the feedback. But I'm with Tasty being most of these guys don't even know what's what.
Check this out.
Yeah.
In the last 12 months, they have a series of 4 beers. The 4 beers have changed 11 times based on initial feedback.
Okay.
In a year, in 12 months. 11 times.
Wow.
That, to me, is kind of too much.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm drinking your beer constantly, maybe it's because I like it, but what is changing? And
That's of the 4 styles. There's been 11 recipe changes. Is that
Yeah.
what they're saying?
Yeah.
If that
seems
was
like a
like
lot.
one beer, I would say like, wow, they said they set out to make one beer, and it sounds like the public really wants them to make another or something like that.
Oh, I see.
Like for instance,
Yeah.
they make you say it's an IPA and really it's not strong enough. Well,
Turns
pretty sure-
into a stout.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe they over time they get it to be where the name implies it is. I don't know.
It
Yeah.
sounds like
It's just
an
they don't know where they're
intelligent
going.
idea,
They're not recipe
but
developers.
artificially intelligent.
That should be a phrase. Like we should coin that term.
So like
artificially intelligent.
yeah. So like
whatever
the
it
opposite of intelligent.
is. Right. Yes. We should start calling people that instead of dumb. Like you sound like AI right
You're
now.
AI.
Yeah.
That's,
Oh, dude.
that's my. This is what I'm getting at. You're AI.
Dude, you're being so AI right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like their idea. They say they make one change, is where they take these 100 cans of this beer, each can, and send it to like 100 like really good guys that know beer, like national level judges, or
And get those changes.
they understand recipe and everything, and just say and give them the recipe
Right.
and say, hey, what would we change to make this beer better?
They're crowdsourcing. I get it. I'm hip.
Yeah, but it's more
I'm hip
marketing.
to that.
It's marketing gimmick. They're crowdsourcing knowledge which isn't there.
Right.
Here's the
Why do
the
they
weird
not even
sentence.
have an app? You have to go to Facebook and message them.
Yeah.
They're this high tech thing.
Well, I think there's like a QR code on the label where you can find the bot easily.
Okay.
I don't know.
The robot.
Yeah, the robot. The robot in the thing. So here's the paragraph that I kind of had to pare down. The AI is also capable of learning from customer feedback through reinforcement learning to learn from how it has acted and get better results in the future. Essentially, the AI is rewarded based on biases hard-coded within it that tell it to please customers. For instance, those who like maltier stouts or IPAs. The feedback data is then accumulated to view trends and change the brewing process, allowing the beers to slowly alter over time.
So there's an algorithm to make up for people who don't know what they're talking about.
Hard-coded.
Yes. Yeah, right. Hard-coded. Of course it's hard-coded.
That's not artificial intelligence. It's just,
it's a bot.
Yeah.
So
It's a program.
It's a robot. I think they're confusing bot with
They got the
artificial
program.
intelligence. Right.
Is it like a Roomba?
Yeah.
It's exactly like a Roomba.
They're using artificial intelligence way too loosely. Just
totally
take that
are.
out. That you should get rid of that.
Yeah,
That's not-
you're right.
All right.
And that's it. That's the beer news.
That was it?
That was it.
I was enjoying myself.
I only had. I mean, I can manipulate another one.
Was that 2 or 3
Which
stories?
one was fake? Which one was fake? All of them?
Yeah, which one was
They're all
fake? The robot one was fake, right?
Of course it was.
Totally.
I mean, I can stay here and read you news articles if you want. There's an article
Today
about
in Washington.
Yeah, Heineken is now serving draft beer on airplanes.
Whoa, how does that move around?
Yeah, why wasn't that in the news, JP?
I just saw it on the
That's
news.
on that little narrow cart?
Just look
How
right
come
now.
your news isn't up to date? When did you stop looking at the news?
Today
last
at about
week?
1 o'clock.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
today. At least it was
that's
today.
only in first class, right?
Probably only in first class, yeah.
Seems like, where's there room for a kegerator on an airplane?
It's like on the cart, but it's like the little tiny kegs, like the 2.5 gallons
that's
or whatever.
not draft beer.
But why not? It's served via carbonation through a tap. It's draft beer.
Yeah, you can buy
Not
those in the
really.
store.
It's that little button on the bottom. It's like
No.
a big can.
No. It's like this small
It's an
like,
artificial keg.
It's an artificial keg. It's just a tiny keg.
IK.
But it's like plastic. It's
Is
like
it
a
served
plastic
under
But it
pressure?
has a thing?
It's
Is it served under pressure or gravity?
Aha. This is the question.
Pressure.
All right.
Oh, it is.
Oh, look at that.
It is
Yeah.
Vom
They're
Fuss.
tapping it.
That looks pretty good.
Wow.
Okay.
It's not a
I'd have
simulation.
one of those.
Huh.
So they build a
I would order
faucet
it.
into the counter on the airplane?
Some
No,
airlines
that's
will
like
stop at
rolling
nothing
down the aisle.
to lure
That's going down the
travelers on their airplanes. They've managed to fit sleeping pods, private apartments, and even an in-flight bar. Whatever.
In-flight kegerator.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
This whole thing that like the airline industry's in trouble and people are luring customers. When's the last time you were on an airplane that wasn't completely fucking full?
Yeah, what
to
the hell
the
was that?
hilt,
Totally.
every
Yeah.
single seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
I don't
is
care.
a-
I don't care if it's 6 a.m,
right?
whatever it is, on a Thursday. It's freaking full.
Yeah, this is a bunch of bullshit
Yeah.
we're being fed with the luring customer. The prices are high. The planes are full. Somebody's making out like a bandit over
Yeah.
there.
And I'm one or the other.
Yeah. At least. All right. Well, that was you know what? That was a gripping news segment.
It was
JP.
all right, right? It was pretty good.
I think
That was
you
really
did.
good.
I was excited about it.
And we all learned something.
We all learned something.
Who was that brought to us by?
Well, that was brought to you by the 21st Amendment Brewing Company in San Leandro,
Yes,
California.
That's
Yeah,
right.
That's what the major
God, that's a huge place.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
huge.
It's just amazing. Goes
feel
on for
like-
acres and acres.
Sully's compensating for something with that place.
So,
It's a very large
It is a very
facility.
large. Well, he's compensating for having a large wallet.
And head.
I don't know. And a large head.
Yes.
Remember that was like his thing,
Remember
man.
that? Yeah.
With the fucking scooter. And he would like ride his little like 2013 Vespa through the tunnel to come to the
that's
studio
right. He
with
drove
this
the Vespa
giant
over here.
melon.
And he would show
glad
up
he made it.
around
Yeah.
like the country doing events, and people are like, your head really is big.
Yeah. You know what's weird is so I played this video game called Overwatch on PlayStation 4 now.
Yeah.
And I play with his kid.
Oh, you do?
With Ian, yeah. I mean, his kid's fine.
Ian?
M-
Oh, that's right.
So he called in one day, super
Right.
drunk, and yeah, right.
Yeah,
Ian?
got it.
Ian.
Yeah.
So Sean did. So I'm like playing with the kid, and then I'm like, hang on a second, I'm going to get a drink, and then I crack a can of El Sully, and I'm like, you know what's weird, Ryan? Is I'm drinking your dad's beer. Playing a video. I'm a 38-year-old man playing a video game with a 13-year-old kid.
What did he
I'm
answer?
drinking a beer.
And drinking your dad's beer. What did he answer?
He goes, why is that weird? And I go,
Never mind.
You'll find out later, man.
Never mind.
Don't worry
Call
about
me
it.
when you know what irony
that's all
is.
he's ever known. People drink his dad's beer.
Now I'm like super like bad like best friends with this fucking kid because we just play Overwatch together like all day.
It's just the two of you?
Yeah.
What?
Well, then it's other kids that he's met online.
It's his summer
He
vacation.
brings them to you?
Yeah, so it's like four other kids are like got to be like 9 years old,
He's
and they're
bringing
just
you
like, let's all
friends.
go Tracer. I'm like, God,
He's like, my friend JP's really good.
he's so cool. He's like on podcasts, like all he does is podcast and play video games all day. And I'm like, Ryan, that is not cool.
They're like, yeah, it is. That's what
That's
we want to do.
amazing. They were grilling me the other day, like, oh, how old are you? We're going to try to guess how old Rudy is, because that's my name on the thing.
Why Rudy?
It's a Phil Hendrick character. No, it's a whole thing.
I thought it was like the movie.
Sure.
Guy
Rudy.
That's what I want them to chant. And they're like, how old are you? 28? No, I'm not 28. Are you 30? No, I'm not 30. And the other one goes, do you go to college? No. Did you go to college? Yes. Did you drop out of college?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah. Who do you live? I go, no, I got an AA degree. What's that? And I'm like, fuck.
It's the one you get before you go to real college.
Yeah.
It's the one
and then you never go to real college. You go, do you have a girlfriend? I'm like, and Taryn's home. And I'm like, no, I don't have a girlfriend. Who do you live with? Or do you live with anybody? Yes. Who do you live with? My wife. And then I hear, oh.
He's old. Yeah. I wonder where his girlfriend lives.
I'm like, oh, I got to get off the fucking thing.
Oh, man.
I need help.
All right. Well, speaking of help, White Labs wants to help you brew new and unique beers. They got 3 new yeast strains coming out this month. I was mentioning them last week. WLP 603, the Torlaspara Dolbrecki.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah. It's a wild yeast isolated from fruit trees in Denmark. The strain produces a lot of esters and contributes some phenolics and has been used for ciders and wine, but also ferments well for beer. You'll find that coming out this month from White Labs.
Do you think their friend Trolls had something to do with that one?
Probably. Yeah. WLP 773 Scottish cider blend, JP.
Was that a Trolls joke?
No. This cider blend contains 2 ale strains and a wine strain. Unlike a lot of ale strains that typically dry out most ciders, this unique blend of Saccharomyces strains still leaves some residual sweetness for the perfect mouthfeel.
That makes sense.
In a cider.
That makes total sense, because wine, like we learned from the Shea Comfort show, wine strains do different things. And so you find the right wine strain for what you're trying to do, and then the beer strain to help kill it.
We also learned a lot from Beardy about back sweetening, and I wonder if this affects that process too, if it's leaving some residual sweetness.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and then finally, they're putting out the WLP 030 Thames ale yeast. This strain is very flocculent and great for porters, stouts, ESBs. It has a lower ester production than most English ales, though. So, a couple of new things from White Labs. Go check them out at whitelabs.com. Don't forget about the Yeast Vault, too.
Never do it. Never forget about it.
You can go vote with your wallet for what yeast you get next over in the Yeast Vault. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do feedback.
Yay.
People are very upset with me. Very upset with me.
What'd you did?
I don't
bad
know.
Things. More bad things.
You guys want to do a Drunk of the Week call for the break? We have Mac.
Hey, Mac. Let's do Mac.
MacGyver?
Hey, Mac. What's happening, brother? You're on with the Brewcasters.
On the Brewing Network.
Yeah. How are you, buddy?
Oh, pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing really good. Are you calling in drunk?
Well, it depends on how you figure it.
Well,
where are you from?
All right. Okay. I see where you're going with this. Okay. Where I'm from, drunk's like a 9-pack.
What?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's the start, anyway.
9?
9.
Yeah, 9.
Whatever, dude. Fight me. Go for it.
No, I'm just, I got more fingers and toes than that. That's all I'm figuring.
Okay. So we figure our drunk by how many... All right, so talk to me. Help me out here. Let's not play...
Well, all right. So we're out in the Midwest, right? And in particular, Wisconsin. Yep, I butchered that on purpose. Any which way, so we started our day with half a 12-pack of the Moon Man from
a 6-pack.
Half a 12-pack?
No, they put them in 12 cans now, which is pretty cool. I actually thought about being like, hey, if I can send this out to y'all, can you send me a bunch of, like a T-shirt or a sweatshirt and a hat or something? But I was like, fuck this, I'll drink it.
Well, what is this, really good beer?
I drank a third of a 12-pack the other day.
Well,
I'm so confused. I drank
1/16 of a 24-pack.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever, man. I listened to your show from about 2 years ago where you were like, holy shit, New Glarus, they got fucking GBAF walked around the fucking place 2 times. They must make some good beer, right?
Yeah.
But any which way. So I drank all those, and I was like, well, fuck, man, I'm out. So we hiked over to the store.
Artificial intelligence.
How I can tell Mac's drunk is... Well, I wonder if his friends could know if Mac is drunk because they could normally understand what he's saying.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, so he's not slurring, he's not cussing, he's not like angry or screaming or
He's
barking.
tangenting.
He's just word salading.
He's like talking to my old friend Natty.
He's like Natty.
Oh, God.
Remember Natty?
Yes, I love Natty.
Yeah, Natty
Fair
was
enough. Fair enough.
Natty was the sweetest guy. Pretty intelligent, too.
Yeah.
But you get a couple beers in him and a doobie, and... Man, it was like talking to an alien.
Yeah.
Like an actual alien. It was like talking to somebody from Mars.
I literally watched him punch himself in the balls.
Mac, when's the last time you punched yourself in the balls?
Can't say as I have, but...
Putting on socks that were too tight.
Oh,
that means you're not
well,
an alien.
shit. Right now, I think I may sign up.
Right.
Yeah, clock yourself in the nut as hard as you can. And don't pull your punch.
That's right.
Oh, come on now.
You got to go balls deep.
I don't know if I can. But
So how much
anyway.
have you? So you started with a half of a 12-pack, if I'm following you.
Yeah.
All right.
If you're following him, I'm scared for the both of you.
What kind of beer was that? What ABV? What is it?
I believe I remember the beer advocate while I stand in the store just to be like, do I want this one or do I want that one? Which one's going to give me a decent pale ale? I was like, oh, 5? That kind of sucks, but whatever. We're on our way home from a decent drunk yesterday.
I see. Of course you were. So 5%?
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. We got to the bottom of that, Tasty, together. All right, so a half of a 12er, 5%. What happened next, Mac?
Well, I got 5 down out of the shitty silver bullet, too, and I got nothing left out of my homebrew. So that means about 5 and, 4, yeah, any which way. Makes no difference.
I mean, it kind of makes a difference. But all right,
How
so
does it
now
make
we're
a difference?
I don't know if you had 6, 4, and 5.
We're somewhere between 9 and
12,
14-ish
14
beers.
or something like that.
That's where we are.
Why did somebody write this down?
Does that sound
can't say
about
it, so.
the right which way, Mac?
I don't know. I could
More like-
probably take a picture of the kitchen sink and make more sense. But
More like 14 or more like 9?
You know, you can get a good look at a butcher by sticking your head up a bull's ass.
But I wouldn't recommend it.
Entirely true, but you got a head full of shit then.
Shithead.
Well, I'm going to call you drunk, Mac.
Well, I'm probably there. The downside is I got to go to work tomorrow. But
What do you do for a living?
well, that's
a butcher.
I'm a
No,
surgeon.
He's a surgeon?
He's a brain surgeon.
No, he drives a
Pediatric
gasoline
surgeon?
truck.
He's
I'm a neurosurgeon.
He's a fucking neurologist.
Yeah.
What do you do?
well, realistically, I'm a dentist, but I was going to tell you.
Doc, quiz him right now. Quiz him. See if he's a dentist for real. Quiz him.
I'm a mechanic.
Okay.
A tooth mechanic.
Tooth mechanic.
Yep, tooth mechanic.
Tooth.
We do struts and
That's
shocks.
what we
We put
call
big old
them.
spinners on them bitches.
In the Midwest, we call him tooth mechanic.
Where are you from, Duluth? When's the last time you went to the tooth mechanic? 4 years ago?
Is it under warranty?
Brought my tooth in.
Jacked it up.
In Duluth. Come on now.
Put it on the rack.
They got my tooth on blocks in the back.
When are you going to get it
Haven't
back?
used it in a while, have you?
They gave me a loaner.
They're doing a whole system flush.
All right, Mac.
We are awful people.
Yeah. I'm going to put you in the running for Drunk of the Week.
With
Sounds great,
nobody.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. We got another segment left. Yeah.
Mac from Duluth.
Yeah. All right, Mac. Thanks for calling in, brother.
All right, take it easy.
Cheers, dude.
Don't fucking push me around, Mac. I'll take it as hard as I want.
That actually ended up being a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, how did that pre-interview go?
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Real quick break. When we come back, feedback, apparently a Drunk of the Week competition, and our Twitter game results right here on The Session. We'll be right back.
listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for every beer style. I want a Cicerone.
The Cicerone Certification Program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a Certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious. Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
With over 20 years of experience making world-class craft beer and more than 100 gold medals in international competitions, Moylan's Brewing Company is not just a pretty face in craft beer. Just ask Brendan Moylan.
What do we got here? The beer of the hour. Moylan's, gotta love that big M. It's like a sign of awesomeness. Woo-hoo! It's got an extra kick to it. Let's pour this bad boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, Moylan's. At the end of the night, when the kids are finally in bed, the wife's in bed, nobody's bothering your ass anymore, that's Moylan's time. Moylan's is for you. Yeah. It's to help you out. Yeah. It helps me out. What? Well, because it's freaking awesome. Northern California brewed. It's brewed with love. With love? Oh, yeah. Tremendous. And it's always best where? Moylan's. You gotta try it on tap at Moylan's in Novato. They're freaking awesome. Not only because I own the brewery, because I love the beer. Cheers. Boom.
Kilt Lifter Scotch Ale takes big beers to a whole new level with rich malt balanced perfectly with delicate hops, and now comes in 4-pack tall boy cans so you can take the party on the go. Or come to the brewery, take a tour, and try any of Moylan's fresh creations right from the source. Check them out at moylans.com.
Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support, like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, there are amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and the Homebrewer's Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and BYO.com are awesome resources for any brewer, whether for yourself or as a gift. When you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from thebrewingnetwork.com. Hey there, BN Army. Have you heard the latest at Hop Tech? Since Hop Tech has doubled in size after a huge expansion, Jade and Roberto can stock even more of the best quality homebrewing supplies and equipment. Over 60 kick-ass varieties of hops and malts, monster truckloads of quality brewer's yeast, including White Labs, Y-yeast, and multiple dry yeasts. They even have all grain systems from Grainfathers and Ruby Street Brew Systems, thanks to Jade, the brand new all-grain brewer. And don't forget about their 10% discount to all BN Army members. Jade and Roberto are waiting for you and all of your brewing questions over at hoptech.com. HopTech, totally not sucking since 1983.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters, this is Jamel Zanisha, and I love a bold, hoppy beer, one that spits resin in your face and makes you cry uncle. There are a lot of great hoppy beers out there, but at Heretic, we want to make something as bold, dank, and resiny as possible. We use hops at every chance we get, including multiple dry hop additions. The result is Heretic Evil Cousin. This light golden, 8% Imperial IPA has an easy malt character that helps take the edge off the massive bittering. but it takes a back seat to the in-your-face hop character. We make sure this beer finishes dry so the hops can jump out and slam you in the taste buds. If you can't get enough hoppy goodness, Evil Cousin is your cup of tea. Cheers.
You're listening to the Brewing Network. Because like beer, radio shouldn't suck.
Fuck yeah. Welcome back to the program, everybody.
Jesus Christ, we are coming in hot.
Coming
in hot, fuck yeah!
You really summarized the moment we were having off air there, for sure.
I like that song. Just rocking and rolling, guys.
That's all I'm doing.
Coming in hot.
I'm doing two fucking things, bitch. Rocking and rolling.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. What I'm doing.
You know what I'm going to say next?
No.
Who's bringing us feedback today?
Well, feedback's brought to you today by our good friend John over at the Beer Law Center. You can go to
he's a busy guy.
Go to beerlawcenter.com and check it out. He is busy, just taking care of us.
Yeah.
Go to beerlawcenter.com. John will take care of you, takes care of our trademark. He can also do like TTB filings for you.
Yeah.
He can take care of everything legal. Just check him out. Beer Law Center. John's a good guy.
Even if you don't have anything to do right now as far as like giving a business, like his Facebook page.
Oh, there you go.
Follow him because he posts a lot of news.
I should do that.
And one of the articles that he posted a while ago, I was going to put in Beer News today. It was about trademarks and all the kind of lawsuits that have kind of been increasing over the years in craft beer. Basically, the articles were all titled like "The world's running out of hop puns."
Yeah.
And it's fucking true. Like every IPA, it does hops in it. We got to put a hop pun on the label. And it's kind of highlighting some of the lawsuits there. It's interesting stuff.
He knows a lot. As stressful as it is with the trademark stuff whenever the hop grenade appears in different places, it does stress me out. But I actually always enjoy talking to him about it because some things are violations, some things aren't, and he's just very clear about the difference. There's also some gray area, and he's really cool about explaining where there's a case and that there's not a case. He really knows what he's talking about. So I actually really like talking to, other than the stressful part. I enjoy listening to him evaluate a situation legally, and he just tells you right where you stand right off the bat. He's good at it. All right, so he's bringing you feedback. So, David writes in.
That's a weird name. It's like Boutros Ghali.
David.
Did you really have to look at that twice and pronounce it?
It's just David. I didn't want to.
David David.
Although I could read his last name, there's like a million. There's a million David Allens in the world, right? So David Allen writes, "I really like the iPhone app updates. Thanks for doing it. Sent from my dog." So, yeah, if you haven't heard the news, have you heard the good news, Bevo? The new what's it called? BN Mobile iTunes app is in the iTunes store. I don't know if the Android app is up yet, but it should be.
Okay.
We were doing both. And, now you can listen live again. And you can listen all the time. Like, whatever's streaming is always on the app. You can't, download shows or anything. But I do have a guy working on an Android app. One of our listeners, great guy, is working on an Android app for us that you'd be able to download shows and things like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
you'd be able to select the show. You'd be able to search for it.
Search, select, do the old shows.
Isn't that called iTunes?
You could do that on iTunes, but not on your phone.
Oh, you can't? I didn't know.
I guess you could do iTunes on your phone.
I have Android,
you could do
so I
that.
don't know.
It's an iPhone.
But everybody wants an app.
Everyone wants their own app, for sure.
Anyway,
that'd be great.
App this.
Thank you, David, for writing in. All right, this one from Chris. Yes, I know it's 3 a.m. Yes, I know it's after work. Yes, I know I've had several beers. But we need more JP on brewing with style.
Yeah, that's right. You do.
Suck a dick, Chris, Ranger in the BN Army. Sent from a Samsung device.
Ranger,
thank you.
People like you on a person likes you on
one
brewing,
man,
brewing style.
one male,
person, male, white.
Yeah, obviously has AI.
He's very AI.
Yeah, I like doing brewing style. It's fun. It's a good time. I get to not have to worry about helping drive a show or drive a show. I just get to sit and make jokes.
Yeah,
like it's Tasty Jamil's job. I don't have to do anything but make jokes and hopefully produce some sort of content.
That's great.
What's different about that from here?
I don't have a Twitter game to run. I don't know.
I see. Yeah,
no pressure there.
There's no pressure.
One or two things.
Yeah, there's no pressure.
Pretend JP's not here. How do you like having JP on the
I'll turn my headphones down. Okay, go ahead. I can't hear anything.
No, it's great. It's nice to have another voice in the room. And,
you let him talk?
I don't have to carry it. And then, he does a great job.
JP's a great co-host.
It's a beer tasting show, and it does great.
Yeah, thank you, Tasty.
All right, now, so basically
We gotta
the
get rid of
rest
Jamil.
Next.
The rest of the feedback is about what they're calling my rant last week.
What they're calling it.
I don't feel like it was a rant. In fact, I tried to even point out how this one was different, but...
A different rant?
When I read through this feedback today, at first I got really angry.
Yeah.
I was very angry. But I've since calmed down, and I don't know what to say about it
Oh,
anymore.
yeah, you missed this one. And you should have been part of it.
I heard about it. I was doing feedback, and so I did 3 or 4 pieces of feedback, and then I called Jay. I'm like, so...
Yeah, JJ.
I'm understanding that there was something happened in
JP called. He's
what's
like,
going on?
Well, you want to tell me about it?
He's like, yeah, what the fuck happened? Because JP gets all the feedback.
Yeah.
The summary of the next several, and I'm going to read them, don't worry, but the summary of the next several emails
Have the same tone.
are that I was a fucking douchebag for talking about behind the scenes stuff again. They said I was complaining about my job again.
Yeah.
And
I thought that was a little harsh.
And that
I'll be honest.
I'm gonna say before I read this stuff.
Yeah.
I figured I just took it as you were targeting your co-hosts.
I was, in a sense, but I was also doing what we've always done in the 11 years of this program, which is talk about what happens behind the scenes. I was then trying to shed some light, I thought, in a non, like I normally do, like a non-fuck this place way.
Right.
I was trying to shed some light on why, in the past, I have been feeling like fuck this place. So I was trying to shed light on what's current, and anyhow, apparently none of it came out like that. And I don't know. You know what? Maybe this should be a milestone for the BN. We don't talk about behind the scenes stuff anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to know about what all they're doing is complaining about me talking about. But that's what we've always done. And I just
it's like you started out by talking about what your day was like. What your day was like. You came in here, and there's you got guests you didn't even know you're going to have, and you got all these things you're getting blindsided about. They're like production issues.
And they were. And look, I get it. It's not always great radio, and it's not for everybody. I know that some people don't like to listen to that.
Yeah.
But it's always what we've done. I have always come in here and talked about the things that we fuck up and the things that we do wrong. I think the problem is, like, maybe I'm going through my whiny phase, and so it sounds like I'm just like. But I didn't.
Well, that and then there is this obviously you have some sort of disconnect going on with the program here.
Yeah.
So that they're kind of like trying to connect the dots.
But
they
that's
don't
what
want
I was trying to
They don't want
do.
them to connect. I think that's why they're mad. They don't really want to hear about it.
Because I was trying to connect the dots for people. As you're going to hear, people basically want me to shut the fuck up. But what happens, though, is then I go to, like, NHC, I go to these events, and what's the first fucking thing everybody asks me? So what's going on, man? Like, what's going on with you and the show? Like, so what? Which is it?
Well, they
you want
know.
me to shut the fuck up, or you want to know what's happening?
Both. You gotta please everybody.
Yeah.
You can't please everybody. You're not a jar
They're probably
of
two different
Nutella.
groups of people. Right?
You're right.
Yeah.
Or I'm not a fluffernutter.
You're not a jar of fluffernutter. You're not a giant fucking super burrito. You can't please everybody.
There's at least a few people out there that care.
I don't.
Yeah.
No, there's not.
I would love you more if you were a super burrito.
All right, let me read through.
Too.
Yeah, okay.
This one's titled Justin's Meltdown. Shut the fuck up. Sent from my iPhone.
Right.
Okay. But I didn't melt down. In fact, it was a very clear difference from my normal meltdown.
And that was my first inclination. I was like, okay, something happened.
You were incensed.
I just was trying to talk
Big
about...
Your normal meltdowns are pretty
was trying
intense.
to talk
This
about
was
the
not
issue.
as intense. I think some people took it more seriously.
Maybe it went on too
As
long.
your
Maybe that's
intensity
the
was
problem.
down a little.
And I didn't hear it, so I have no idea. But maybe it went on too long, and people were like,
Well,
"Oh my god,
that's
dude,
probably
enough."
true.
There was no fun involved. It was a little bit harsh.
Maybe that's the problem.
Okay.
There was no, like, screaming and... But I was trying to just say, look, this is a real thing.
Yeah, I mean, and I wonder. And again, I didn't hear it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I wonder if you're not here enough to warrant coming back and then crying about it. Not crying about it, but you know what I mean, like complaining about it.
I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Here's letter number 5.
I really didn't mean to say. Maybe it was a
hear how
Freudian.
you're
I don't know.
saying it.
But you know what I mean? Like maybe that was it. Maybe people are like, "Oh, Justin's back. That's cool," and they're pumped about it because I get a lot of feedback that, "Hey, JP's cool, but we like Justin better." And you know, while I disagree with that, that's fine.
Sure.
and then
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? And then they're ready for the show, and then they just hear a bunch of complaining, and then you leave again, and then I'm back, and then it's like a weird.
I guess you're right.
You know
and
what I
this is where I don't want to misrepresent myself. And maybe I feel like that's what's happening. Is because I'm not fed up with the show.
Right.
And this is what we're going to do. Like, there's a line in one of these emails that set me off in particular.
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah. And I thought about taking it. I was like, no, this is it. This is the point of the email.
Well,
the
let me
entire
read it.
email boils down to this line.
Let me read this stuff. So I'll get through it, and then I'll try not to bore you guys to death.
You'll rant about it.
I'm going to try not to, though, because apparently nobody wants to fucking hear it.
Well, 3 people don't want to hear it.
All right, Rich writes in.
And there's people in the room.
Rich writes in. This is titled "Sorry." Dear Justin plus the Brewcasters. This is different. I'm going to come back to that one. Okay, here we go. Concerned listener. Hey, Bevo and asshats. Justin, don't take out your aggression on us listeners. I know how any job can get old, and imagine you're getting sick of the shit you put up with. Meanwhile, myself and the rest of the listeners just want the station to continue. If you really don't want to do it, then at least pass the torch on to someone who cares.
Wow.
At least. That's the literally least you can do, apparently.
The very least.
I'm going to come back to that sentence in a moment. I'm going to finish the email. I'm going to come back to that sentence. For Christ's sake, he says, don't take it away from us. I'm sure there are plenty of people who will take over if you want to give up.
Plenty.
Seriously, I would have to find a different job because otherwise factory work would drive me insane. Thanks, John. Send from my iPhone. Okay. A couple things about this email. So I wasn't taking out any aggression. That's what I'm saying was different. Usually I am. I have in the past been aggressive and taking out my aggression. I was calmly trying to talk about some of the problems that I feel like a company that is 11 years old shouldn't have anymore.
Yeah.
And
that or you say you wonder why I'm frustrated. Here's some examples.
I was trying to say because people are making a bunch of assumptions that I don't want to be here, that I don't care. This is the one, by the way, and this happened in the forum recently. When it comes through, when people say to me I don't care, it's tough. That's a tough one for me to hear because the truth is, I probably care a little too much. That's part of the deal. That's part of why it's so difficult when the shows don't go right. It bothers me a lot. It bothers me for the listeners because I fucking give a shit. We produce something good here. I'm not going to go off on a tangent, but the don't care thing, it's not that. I care a lot about this program. And that's why I want it to be so good. That's why I'm hard on the staff. It's why I'm hard on myself. Everything. So I'm not trying to, and I wasn't threatening, by the way, to take the show away from you, like permanently. Last week I was making the point that if it's 4:30 in the afternoon, a little bit before showtime, and I don't have any information about my guest, I'm probably going to produce a crappy show for you, and I don't want to give you a crappy show. I want to give you a really good show. So I'm going to cancel the show.
In lieu of producing crappy radio.
Yes.
Right.
Not cancel it like forever. Maybe I said it wrong. I didn't mean like, fuck it, I'm taking my ball and going home.
Right.
What I meant was, for that particular day, I could choose to do a crappy interview or no interview. And I think now I've earned it, and our listeners deserve that we should not do crappy. We should only do good interviews. That's all I was saying. So I wasn't trying to, take the show away.
So we're still getting paid then?
Yeah, double. I'll give you. If I go home, Doc, you get paid double.
Good. Just want to know that.
Because legally, it's a scheduled work day, and you have to give me 24 hours notice.
Well, exactly, and I'm coming in.
Otherwise,
I'll fucking be here.
Late, but I'm going to come.
All right, here's another one.
Keep on coming.
Hey, guys, 90% of the time, I love your work.
90%. That's pretty good.
All right,
That's an A-, bro.
I think we can go home now.
I was always an A- student. I'm still
90? Oh, my God,
right
I'd take
there.
that any day.
I was like a C-, dude. Might not surprise you.
I got a B out with smiles.
With a happy face.
I lost my shit when I got B's. Not in high school. That was different.
Because it was good?
No, I was smoking a lot of weed. All right, 90% of the time, I love your work. Over here in Australia, decent brewing media of any form is scarce.
It's scary.
And
in Chechnya, decent brewing info is scarce.
Yeah, it scares us because if we brew good beer, they shoot us in head.
Right.
You're too talented for communism.
With bullet, we had to make ourselves because there's no bullet factory in Chechnya.
All beer mediocre. I thoroughly enjoy tuning in the podcast, et cetera, et cetera. One thing last episode kind of did my head in, though. Justin talking about being professional or lack thereof and having an extended, boring, over-the-top rant about how your colleagues and staff are not professional and threatening to cancel shows, clean staff out, whilst on air is the absolute height of unprofessionalism.
Well, look at it this way. If that's the high water mark, you can't ruin it. Everything else is going to be an improvement based on it, right?
He says, I get that those conversations need to happen, but behind closed doors. They aren't for the ears of the general public or and come across as obnoxious and makes you sound overly full of yourself, especially when complaining about the Beavertown interview, which I thought was fantastic, he says. So I actually don't disagree with you in a normal environment, but that's not the Brewing Network.
We are not a normal environment.
I have brought this shit up since day one. Yeah. Since day one. But I can stop. I could stop talking about the stuff that happens behind the scenes and just do it like everybody. But I think it's lame. I think it's lame when companies just put on like a smiley face and they're like, nah, everything's cool. Like, we're all great.
I mean, when people tune in to listen, they want to know what's up with you guys. What's new? What's it like being on the Brewing Network?
Well, I'm glad we didn't do it in a normal behind the scenes format. This way, we had witnesses. It was recorded.
Yeah, I didn't shoot anybody. I don't know, but I can stop. I know it's uncomfortable. The fact is, I know it's uncomfortable. It's fucking uncomfortable in here too. I just think
I didn't think twice about it.
I thought it's better done on the air. But look, I cannot do it on the air. It's okay.
Just like that's going to happen.
Anyway, so it's just my 2 cents from Cameron. Thanks for writing in, Cameron.
Well, thanks for the compliment.
Here's another one.
Of course there's another one.
On being professionals. While Justin's rant about Robert Plant Jr. wasn't very good radio.
I wish that was his name.
Oh, man.
I did appreciate hearing his thoughts on the BN and professionalism. You guys offer by far the best brewing-related content out there. I passed the Cicerone exam without ever reading a single book on brewing, thanks to the wealth of information you provided.
Well, there you go. That's a positive one.
That being said...
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
There's good days and bad days at the BN, and it carries through in the programming. Hearing Justin say that 11 years into it, everyone ought to be pros and approach it as such was refreshing, he says. I hope you guys continue to get better and better at what you do, and the brewing world will benefit greatly. Look, we're going to continue to get better. The BN's not going anywhere. I wasn't threatening to pull the BN off air like I already explained. It was just a one-show deal.
Right.
But look, you know what? I think I'm coming across the wrong way. I think I'm coming across as whiny. I'll cut it out. I had stopped complaining in general since I did my little hiatus.
Yeah.
And I came back knowing that I shouldn't do too much on-air complaining. But this was a particular thing. It felt like a behind-the-scenes thing that should be talked about, especially because coming out of NHC and stuff, literally every question people asked me were like, what's going on? And so I thought I would help connect the dots. But I think maybe Tacey's right. As soon as I connect the dots, people's heads explode.
Didn't want to hear it.
It's like a whole fucking thing. It can't be real. It's got to be fake.
Yes.
Right.
So quit it.
Yeah.
Argue. Close the door and argue. We don't do it in front of us.
All right. You want to hear Spam of the Week?
Yes.
This one's long, JP.
Is it too long?
No, it's just long.
Is it long?
Spam of the Week. Hello, Andre.
Hello, Andre.
This must have been to you.
This was from a listener, actually, who says, my name is not Andre. And like they a lot of it was based around pictures that he sent as an attachment, but pictures don't work on radio. But it's like they used my photo, but not my name, and it was like a whole
really?
super
they
highly
had his photo.
Yeah, it was like a super highly targeted spam sent to him with entirely just retarded facts. As you read along, it makes no sense. It was the most odd phishing email I've ever read, and I've read a lot of them.
Would you say it's artificial intelligence?
I'd say it's super AI.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Hello, Andre. I need help from you. My name is Maria Flangia.
All right.
My name is Harrison Fjord. It's like
Maria.
A lot of vagina.
I am Harrison Ford. This is my wife, Maria Flangia.
Maria Flangia.
It's the stupidest. I'm from Los Angeles, California.
There you go.
I don't wish to go to the authorities, but wish to make you aware your identity has been compromised. Please help me. My phone number is 323-999-8089. Or direct me to someone who could help me find this person that did this. I will contact my local TV station if there is no answer. What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's it escalates very, very quickly.
Please help me understand something I found through my internet search. Number 1, the phone number, blah, 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 is registered under your name in Jacksonville, Florida. All my phone records with an online date relate to this phone number.
And this guy doesn't live in Florida, by the way.
Okay. Yeah. Picture of a distinctive person was used under several aliases, including yours, on LinkedIn. The person pictured was used, and I met online, never in person. And finally, the person and pictures I was sent by the online date were of Juame San Lorente from Spain instead of John Andre.
Of course they were. Fucking Juame. That guy's always getting in on John Andre's shit.
Juame.
What a piece of shit that is.
Juame's an asshole, dude.
Instead of John Andre, as I thought initially via OkCupid date site.
This is a blackmail piece.
Yes. I've been a fool and embarrassed to say more, but I strongly believe my pictures are now being used to create a new identity for false pretenses in the internet world.
But she says that Andre's ID has been compromised, and then she ends it with my ID. Like, what is happening?
It's the weirdest spam.
Super weird.
In Chechnya, we're happy when ID's stolen. When identity's stolen, it makes us feel like we are alive. We have no identity.
All for government.
If someone wants our identity, it feels like we have something of value.
We only have one ID, and everybody has to borrow it.
In Chechnya, we have one ID.
Yeah. I'm on waiting list for 49 years.
It's been relaminated 297 times.
I can't buy beer, so I make beer myself. I have to wait for ID to buy wine.
I love that. So, in Chechnya, we can't afford beer, so we homebrew. Wait, that's everywhere.
We can't afford home either, but that's okay. We forest brew.
In Chechnya, we don't call it homebrew. Yeah. We call it sidewalk brew.
Right. Instead of in America, you have frost brewed. In Chechnya, we have forest brewed. It's the same thing, but very different.
In Chechnya, there's no homemade.
We should reply to him. I think he's in trouble. He should,
I think we should.
He should get an attorney. Yeah. He's in big shit.
I like the veiled threat of like, I'm going to contact the TV station if I don't hear back from you.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, all right.
I'll be like, wow, I don't want that.
They're going to be all over that news story.
Oh, we're fucked now.
Yeah. Oh my God. Guys been out of Drake's recently?
Which one?
Yeah, I was
out there a
couple weeks ago, actually, yeah.
The brewery or the
any one of them. So you got the brewery, you got the barrel house.
We're at the barrel house.
You got the
dealership.
The dealership.
I've never been to the dealership.
Oh, you got to go to the dealership. The
That's
dealership's
cool.
badass.
It is, yeah.
It's got one of the best patios in Oakland.
Really?
It is.
It's not the whole Bay Area.
It's like a real beer garden.
Okay.
It's really nice.
Okay. Yeah. I'll make an effort.
That's all. I'm just bringing it up because I love the place.
No, that's great.
Yeah. Go check it out.
I got to go there. I got to go there.
DrinkDrakes.com.
Check this out. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I saw it crawl across my Facebook page, and we're always talking about home brewing gadgets and all this kind of shit. There's a new plastic conical on the market. I don't know if you guys seen that. It's on Kickstarter. Apparently, it's like it acts like a conical on your fucking tabletop, and you can harvest yeast from the bottom of it. Like during fermentation.
So it's got its own shoulders.
You mean like a regular conical?
Like a regular conical, but it's plastic and it sits on your counter. So I guess it has like a frame.
Got its own shoulders. Like,
you have a picture of it?
And gives you access to the bottom of the cone, I assume.
Yeah, so it's like there's a 3-inch butterfly valve, which to me is fucking huge.
3 inch.
See that.
And so you can, I guess the idea is you leave the butterfly valve open. And you pitch
that is
your yeast.
A large valve.
Yeah, and then you pitch your yeast, and then the yeast kind of collects at the bottom. And so when you're done, you can close the valve and cap off the mason jar or whatever, and you have a pitch to rewash your yeast or whatever.
No, you can harvest yeast that way. I mean, it's 3 inches big. You could.
It's huge.
And
that's what she said.
In a half inch, sometimes it's slow to get started.
Yeah,
that's a huge dump.
It's not what your nurse said, but
no, it's not. No, I think she snickered.
It's also clear plastic, like the better bottle conical. So I like that because a lot of the plastic fermenters out there you can't. They're like a bucket, like you can't see in.
Yeah, and I guess that they scienced it up a bit, and there's like 90% scratch resistance, 90% more scratch resistant than normal plastic fermenters.
I need that,
which is huge, right? And the lid pops off, like the entire lid. I don't know. It seems like a cool deal.
Is it for sale right now?
Yeah, it's on Kickstarter. The Catalyst fermentation system. So if you look up the Catalyst beer fermenter,
so it's like half as scratchy.
It's like 90% less.
Half as scratchy.
Yeah.
So they're scratchy.
It's like having half a 12-pack. All right.
Half a 12-pack.
There you go.
Do we have a drunk of the week?
There was no. Yeah, Mac is our drunk.
Yes, Mac. There you go, buddy.
So it's not made. I like it.
It's not made yet, but
so the Kickstarter campaign has to work for it to get made.
I guess, yeah.
All right.
Well, what's the deal?
What can I do?
How can I get a hold of one of those?
It's on Kickstarter. I think you just search the Catalyst.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll find it. It's pretty cool. It looks pretty neat.
That does look cool. And if it's tabletop, I like that too.
It's fucking tabletop, right?
I have tables.
In Chechnya, we have table, but no tabletop.
It's like saying it's got a stand.
It's 4 legs and field.
Government owned top of table, but we own right in the middle. Fuck you, government.
We sit around, we laugh.
Only if government knew about middle of table.
We kept leaf.
Yeah, leaf is our own.
All right.
We eat off of leaves.
I love this joke.
Me too. It's my favorite. What was our Twitter game today?
The BN is now sponsoring a ride in Disneyland, but we're leaving it up to you guys to determine what ride that is and what we're going to rename it.
I want to go on a ride.
Me too.
All right. So how do we do? What do we get?
Well, Jeff Goralnik says, Mr. Tasty's fucked up crack deal.
Nah.
Or the Bevo in Wonderland shit-faced drunk spinning beer cups.
Huh. Bevo in Wonderland.
Yeah. So I think it's the Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is now Mr. Tasty's fucked up crack deal.
I like that one.
Which, if you ride the ride, that's pretty good description.
Pretty accurate.
He doesn't.
That would take many modifications.
Crack.
He doesn't crack. He doesn't give out crack, but he might buy it.
Did I tell you I had your beer out at Social Kitchen?
Oh yeah, the tasty
treats.
Yeah,
I had it.
Okay. It's a little hoppy, isn't it? We got a keg here.
I had it.
We
it
do?
was served in a really good glass. Like, where were you going with that?
Nowhere. I just bringing it up because we were talking about Tasty the crack.
He didn't say anything about it.
The tasty
Treats,
it's
limited in the market, but it's here. Yeah,
I liked it.
I haven't put it on yet.
It has that like cinnamon,
ginger cinnamon.
Dude, I had to wait.
Yeah, that's why it's called Tasty Treats.
I had to wait 2.5 weeks to get my beer on tap here, and then I wasn't even in town, so you'll have to wait a little bit longer.
It's a half barrel.
Yeah,
and it's not gonna move that fast, so it'll be on for at least a week.
Okay, good.
Tasty gets expedited to the front of the line.
I know he does.
Just because he complains.
I think it's waiting for Kevin to get
You're
back.
You're too quiet.
So there's also the death pool too.
We're
hurry
afraid.
up, will you please?
We're afraid that how sad will I be if there's keg of tasty treat in keggery and Tasty dies.
It's
everybody drink with tears in their eyes.
It's inevitable. I'm going to keep doing collaborations. Again, I'm going to die. It's one of those times.
In Chechnya, we wait for nothing.
That's good. I'll have some in the pipeline.
We have nothing to wait for
the party.
We wait for that. We welcome death. As a matter of fact, we don't wait for it. We welcome it. We beckon it. We climb from tall building and fall down.
It's paradise.
But we can't afford tall buildings, so we just lay down in field.
We keep climbing on hillside and rolling down, rolling down.
Hoping for one sharp rock to pierce base of skull.
But all rocks are gone.
Yeah, all rocks moved to Ukraine.
Rocks were bored in Chechnya. There's nothing to do.
No military to be thrown at. So they rolled to Ukraine to be thrown at Russians.
I saw a rock once.
Yeah.
My grandmother told me about rocks once.
She remembered cooking rock for supper.
For supper. It was one rock. It's how we clean teeth after supper.
Right.
We all share it.
Much like ID. Chechnyan rule number 2 say if you have ID, you cannot have rock at same time.
Must not have Chechnya's only 2 possessions at single time.
That would make you president.
And being president of Chechnya means assassination.
Immediately.
Immediate death.
Immediately.
So we're very careful.
With nation's only bullet.
Made of rubber.
Made of rock.
Made of Chechnya's last rock.
Yeah. We keep it in glass case.
Okay, it's not really glass.
Yeah. More like covered in leaves in middle of field.
Yeah. With treasure map. Okay, what's the next Twitter? What?
X doesn't mark the spot, can't afford that many letters. A marks the spot.
It's more of a slash. It's more backslash.
It's half a backslash.
Go.
Don't have that many letters on keyboard.
Next.
All right, sorry.
Next.
We borrow keyboard from Lithuania.
So the crack ride. What else?
Bevo in Wonderland, shit-faced drunk spinning beer cups.
Yeah.
Ian Stringer says we should take over Autopia and call it the Grenade because that piece of crap should have been blown up years ago. Which I kind of agree.
Autopia or the Grenade?
Autopia.
Okay.
Maybe both. I don't know.
Kind of boring.
Okay.
John McConnell says the suck a dick it doesn't matter horn.
I like that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that too. Justin81 says the Dumbo ride. Call it Justin's life full of ups and downs on a flying elephant.
Okay.
And then last but not least,
that is my life, but I don't get that. But yeah,
maybe like when the DT.
It's just because he had to fit it into a
pink elephant, maybe
The drunk elephant from Dumbo.
Oh, yeah,
the pink elephant.
That could work.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then finally, Will says something called the Chechnyan Chamber of Sadness. It's only a concrete room, but it's always closed for repairs.
Listen, a concrete room in Chechnya is happiness.
That's mall.
It's room.
That's a mansion.
We finally have roof.
Always closed. Well, we're certainly laughing pretty hard.
I think it's between Tasty's Crack House.
No.
The only thing I don't like about that is he doesn't do crack.
No,
It's
but
not-
you don't know that.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I don't.
But how am I supposed to trust you?
Well,
prove it.
I thought we were having harmony today.
Anybody that knows me, I would have no reason to lie.
No.
How many Brillo pads do
I
you
didn't
have
try
in your fucking car right now?
Brillo pads?
Yeah.
None.
How many roses
part
and
of
glass
green
tubes
crack?
have you bought from
I'm not
fucking
your guy
gas
then.
stations?
Did you trade in the Forerunner for a Winnebago?
No.
I like the JP. It doesn't matter.
Suck
horn.
a dick, it doesn't matter horn?
Yes,
I like it too.
I love that.
Except,
All right, John McConnell, there you go.
if the Matterhorn cars were like cock and ball shaped, that'd be really cool.
They're close. You do have to sit in a weird straddly position on the Matterhorn.
Not anymore.
So-
It's changed. Yeah, now you get individual seats. There's no cuddle seats, is what they called them.
Oh, I think I remember that when I went with you guys. That's shameful.
It is shameful.
Because when I was a kid, when you were like 12, 13,
13, 12, 13
that's
to
how you,
15, whatever.
Cop to Fielski.
Yeah,
that's the boner
you
generator.
invited a chick to the Matterhorn, and it was innocent, but you sat there.
And she slide back against you?
And then you knew she liked you. She either sat forward.
and held
Or she slide back.
She would sit back against you, and then you were like, I'm in.
Well, that's how you lock her in place.
And then you
Under the
actually
boner.
were in.
I was 13, Bevo.
What does that mean?
Nothing.
He had wood,
I was
but
in.
wasn't doing
I
it.
mean, wood was constant, but you could never chop
You
it.
didn't know what to do with it.
We got a couple good ones after I cut off the Mark Twain Riverboat and call it the Labruski Cruise.
I like that.
I think that'd be
Like
good.
that too.
Yeah,
That's about it.
That's a good one. All right.
Right?
Are we done?
I think we're done.
How done?
We're not sure what we're doing next week. We thought we were sure, but we might rearrange next week's guest. So I'm not going to announce what we're doing. Maybe You know what? We'll announce it next Monday at 6 p.m. How about that?
Sounds good.
That's when you find out who's on next week's show. But it'll be a good show. I mean, we're putting out gold right now.
Oh, my God.
If you ask me.
We're on a run.
I mean...
Chechnyan gold.
Chechnyan gold.
Is nation's only rock painted silver. Because we think silver is really gold.
It's so pretty.
We can't even afford gold paint. Everything is gray here.
I have heard that
Chechnya.
my Chechnyan cousin Latka might show up for one of our Monday shows.
Really?
Yeah, Latka called in last week.
Oh, he did?
She.
I didn't know that. She did.
Oh, yeah.
Latka is clearly a she.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a she for sure.
Okay, great.
In Chechnya, we can hardly tell.
Yeah.
She has impressive facial hair.
She does.
And armpit hair.
So we'll see. I mean, maybe that could happen next week.
That'd be great.
We'll see.
You know who I think is going to be in the studio next week?
Who?
Blobber.
Really?
Yes. He's going to be in town.
In the studio?
I think so. I think I'm going to try to wrangle him to be in the studio.
Is he in town?
He's going to be in town
Then
this
why
weekend.
wouldn't he be in the studio?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, he
But
has lots of plans.
Yeah, he
in
has lots of
11
plans.
years that he has contributed to this program, he's never been in our studio.
I know. I agree. So I'm going to bring him in. I'll do my best.
You must. What do I have to do? It has to happen, JP.
You have to pay me $10 million.
Look,
Chechnyan million or
Chechnyan dollars.
Oh, I got this. I'll write the check now.
I'm in.
Lock of hair covered in red ribbon.
I'm going to write you a check for $1 million, but I'm going to tear it in half and hand it to you. That's
Chechnyan million is like scab with lock of hair.
Ew.
Bound together with dried pus.
Oh, God. All right, JP, take it away. We'll see you all next week.
Thank you to our show sponsor, More Beer. You can get absolutely everything you need to make great beer at home by going to morebeer.com. Beau joined us from Austmann Brewing over in Norway to talk about Yorkshire Squares, handsome brewers, and how to land a hot Norwegian broad. Check out their beers over at austmann.no. Merge your love of Disneyland with your lack of engaging podcasts and go to earsuppodcast.com as JP, Terrence, Bevo, and Taryn talk about all things Disney. Go check out Moscow's Hop Cartoons over at hoplifestore.com. Get on Twitter for some good beer insight and homebrew information. Follow Nate Smith at Nathan Homebrew, Mike McDole at Tasty McD, JP at Major Jip with 2 P's because he's awesome, and Warren is adding to the noise over at Another Beardy. Today's show is produced by JP, and your host has been Justin Crossley. Be sure to find the Brewing Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
JP's an asshole. Justin's a nice guy and winning the race. JP does great as his charity case.